Happy Easter to everyone who celebrates. Arne Slot has spoken about transfers this summer, what he wants from a number 9, and also spoken about his thoughts on Trent. Nico Williams is wanted by Liverpool, and Ryan Cherki's price tag has been set for the summer. It's one of your favorite shows of the week, people. It's Kop-Ish Kollab with Don Hassam and Tom Little. Sit back, relax. Let's get into it.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work.
The two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Yes, lovely people. Hope you're well. As always, when we get behind the mic, please make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. Also, make sure you click the links in the description. Subscribe to Don Hassam's channel and subscribe to Tom's Little channel as well. People, how are we doing this Easter Friday?
Good, man.
All good.
Happy Easter Friday. Good Friday to everyone. Big up yourselves. Happy birthday to Goat Divot. Yeah, man. Good day.
Indeed. Right, people, let's start off with Arne Slot. He's had a lot to say today in his press conferences. Sorry about the background noise. My kids seem to think that this is an amusement park rather than a house. But we move, as always. Right, so Arne Slot has spoken on transfers, saying that we are looking at every single position and we are looking at the team. And I think we've said it many times. Last summer, we didn't do a lot because we, Richard, me, and all the other people involved just wanted to know how these players work with me. Then wanted to say, now we have a very good idea about that. I'm not going to tell you which positions we prefer, but it is clear that we've assessed the squad, where we improve, and that's where we're going for in the summer. In the background, we're working on strengthening the squad for the summer. That would mean that for the upcoming years, we will be able to challenge for every trophy we are playing for. Also wanted to say we do not need a major surgery in the summer. So I want to start with you, Matt. In fact, no, Hassam, I'll start with you. Slot coming and saying he doesn't think there'll be major surgery, saying that, you know, he's had a chance to assess the squad, etc. What's your thoughts on those quotes?
I mean, I do think that there is an element of lying in press conferences. I think all managers lie from A to Z. I think there is a bit of media training here. Maybe not a lot with Arne Slot because he has that Dutch, truthfulness to him. I hope that, when he says, oh, we don't need a rebuild this summer and we don't need major surgery, that this is not a presupposed excuse to what happens this summer in terms of signing one player and then calling it a day or something. So I hope we actually do have a big summer and we do need to refresh on the team, refresh on the squad. We saw reports from Ornstein when Van Dijk and Salah signed contracts that they spoke about summer plans. Now, obviously, they didn't sit with both of them and go we're going to sign player X, player Y, but at least, the positions that we're going to sign players in, etc., etc. I think it's very important to address all positions this summer. I think this should be a complete summer where we just get exactly what we need. We can't use the Salah and Van Dijk contract as excuses either, because it's literally the Trent contract money is just going into both of their wages. So it's literally in, out. And plus, we've already spoken 100 times before about all the wages that have left the football club, like Thiago, Matip, blah, 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 all the players that have left anyway. So that leaves up a lot of wage room, for us to work with. I think that we really do need a big summer. So this is big up all the guys on their phones as well. Shout out Tom, Drifty, and Matt. You guys done texting? Wow. I've never been on my phone on a show. There's such a lack of professionalism in this environment.
Hold on a minute.
Anyway, back to the topic.
Who said they was on their phones?
Thank you, guys. It's just me. It's just Hussam talking live on the stream. Like and subscribe, chat. You get me? All four of them are on their phones, and Callum is on a new tab trying to buy apple juice.
No. I'm on the water for a start. And second of all, I was adding your links to the description.
Everyone's just texting. your
know-
phone's literally in your hand. You can't even
Mhm.
like I'm literally talking and all of you guys are fraudulent.
I
Anyway,
listened to
back to
everything
the
you were
How
saying.
about we were messaging each other, seeing how long it would take to wind Hassan up?
No, that can't be. That can't be. That can't
Could
be.
never be.
That can't be. Okay. Anyway, so I do hope we have a big summer, and I think we are all in agreement. When we say big summer, it's not even about the names; it's about the positions. I think we are owed that for just one time in our life as Liverpool fans, when we need like 5 positions, we just go out there and get them, regardless of the name. Let the nerds do their job, scout behind the computer, and just get the players. That's it. Also, Ryan, there is no such thing called begging for likes because the like button is free. So how can you beg for something that's free? You idiot! You can't beg for something that's free. What do you beg for? Oxygen? Do you beg, like you don't pay for like button? Begging is when people beg for a super chat or beg for money or beg for. You can't beg for a like button. It's literally free. You idiot. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the subject.
Tom, I'm going to come to you next. This is from I want to say Andy Hunter from The Guardian. His quote is Liverpool are expected to target a new centre forward and a young left back this summer. But like last summer, Slot doesn't believe many improvements are needed for a squad that is on the brink of winning the Premier League by some distance. If we went into the summer and came out of the summer and only signed a striker and a left back, how would you feel?
Disappointed because we've got one right back. I mean, that's a start. Where's me right back? We're running Conor Bradley every single minute of every single game unless we're playing Quanta. And it will be a bit underwhelming because it means we haven't sold well. Because I get that left back and striker.
Sorry, Tom, to interrupt you. Sam, you're not on your phone, are you, bro?
I'm actually getting some work done. As you can see, my editors
No,
in the
just
chat.
ask.
As you can see, my editors in the chat. As you can see, my editors in the chat going like, DM me the thumbnail.
Just double check it.
You get me? There's a difference between
There's a
that and
time and
texting in the
place,
group
Sam.
chat.
Remember, you're a
This
guest.
is
There's a time and
work.
place.
I'm a busy man.
Sorry,
I'm
Tom,
trying to
time
get
and place, don't
50,000.
disrespect, bro. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah. Sorry, Tom. I know he's really.
you know
Also,
what, Sam?
stop talking. So it's like when your child is speaking. So it's okay.
Oh,
to
there
do
we
it.
go. At least this is doing his work for once, not like last night when he didn't even do your lineup graphics.
Oh, well, I wouldn't have it if I were you. I'll be honest.
But I get the whole notion that realistically, with the squad in the position that it is, striker you have to buy anyway. Left back you have to buy anyway.
Yes.
Right back you need to buy. The rest I know is dependent on sales. If we don't sell Diaz, we're not going to buy another left winger. I know that. If we don't sell Jota, we're not going to buy another striker. I know that. If we don't sell Endo and Elliott, I don't think we're going to buy a DM or an attacking midfielder because there's bodies there already. Is the bodies the high enough quality? Does the manager necessarily trust them? No, which is a different problem. But I get that you can't buy another attacking midfielder without selling one. I get that you can't buy certain positions without selling one. Centre back is a bit weird. Centre back is the reason why I think that we're trying to just calm everything down in the media. Everything came out with the Van Dijk stuff with Ornstein and Van Dijk himself saying that they're all excited for the summer. It's looking like it's going to be a big summer, this, that, and the other. The club clearly don't like that because it's never great when you go into a summer hyping up there's going to be a big one because every club just starts upping the prices for you. So we're obviously trying to sort of manage expectations. And I get why we wouldn't be sitting there going, we're going to buy a left winger even though we've got 2 already. We're going to buy a centre-back even though we've got 4 already. A lot of it will be done based on sales, and you can't buy players without selling the players first, or at least, having the deals in place. So I get why, what that journalist said isn't necessarily wrong, per se, because they're the 2 positions that we are targeting as it stands right now with the squad. It just comes down to who's going to go, and I do think there will be a fair few outgoings this summer, because regardless of what the manager says in press conferences, actions always speak louder than words, and the man only trusts about 13 people in the squad. You sell the rest, and you buy players that he trusts.
Fairs. Drift, I'll come to you next. The word major, or the words, or the phrase major surgery is very subjective and can be taken in so many different aspects. What to you would constitute like major surgery in the summer?
It'll be something similar to what we did 2 summers ago when we had to build the midfield. That would be what that was major surgery. We had an entire midfield to change. So yeah, something like it doesn't have to all be in that one position, but you know what I mean. You do need to have maybe 4 or 5 players that you have to bring in to be considered major surgery, and normally for the first team as well. Like a lot of people can bring in squad players, but if you need 3 or 4 or 5 players who are actually going straight in the 11, like the way McAllister, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai did, that's major surgery. So I don't quite know if Liverpool need major surgery, but we need surgery, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I do think people keep downplaying how great this squad already is. Like it's kind of like we have a few bad games and we go through a little bad patch, and then everybody gets very hyperbolic in a negative way. Like Gravenberch, for example. Yes, February and March were poor months for him. But up until January, he was probably midfielder of the season. So what, two and a bit months of like a bit of a fall off of form and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, he's not a great player anymore. He's not a good player anymore. Or do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, football is changing in a way that I don't like. Like, I'm not going to lie. Football's going down a really weird path. And I don't like how quick everybody is to change their opinion or change their tune or switch. Or, do you know what I mean? Like, I know we use the term flip-flop to, like, put people down when we want to, like, make fun of people. Oh, you said this last week and now you're saying this week. But it is crazy how quick opinions keep changing all the time. Like, if you asked anyone in December, they would have said Gravenberch is head and shoulders a special player. And now I'm hearing people saying, if Real Madrid won him, what's the price? So you want to sell him now? What? In December and January, we were looking at one of the best players the league has seen this season. Like, it's weird.
I've not seen anyone saying they want to sell Gravenberch.
No, not actively going, yeah, get rid of him. But like when these rumors about Real Madrid are going around, I'm hearing, well, boy, do you know what? What if they give us this much and then we can reinvest this and pay for this?
Best thing ever.
All I know is there was someone on Kop-Ish who said they'd swap Gravenberch for Camavinga. I'm not naming names, but
Yeah, no, cool.
Okay, I'll say something as crazy as this sounds, and maybe that makes me double check my position, but I do agree with Callum.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: Gravenberch is easily replaceable with all due
Camavinga
respect.
is not a better player, but I'm not going to be angry at you for what
Gravenberch
he's
is
a
easily
better
replaceable.
player.
There are so many players in the world that have Gravenberch's qualities. I think the only midfielder we have in our team. The only midfielder we have in our team that's actually irreplaceable is McAllister. The rest are all easily replaceable.
You can't find me 5 players with Gravenberch's attributes who execute it well in a game. I'll give you the rest of the show, bro, to name me 5 midfielders who are as good as Gravenberch and what he does, bro. The half
as good as Gravenberch, I'll give you an example. I could give you Lobotka. I could give you Camavinga. Lobotka is an unbelievable
Camavinga is a totally different style of player, bro.
Camavinga.
Nah, I don't think.
No, but I think they can all replace what Gravenberch does. Like,
nah, what the interceptions and the ball carrying and
the word irreplaceable is a big deal. Like when you say someone's irreplaceable, that's like who's even actually irreplaceable in our team? Alisson is irreplaceable.
I don't think Gravenberch is irreplaceable. But like, I don't think you can go and find me 5 midfielders around the world right now that can do what he does. I can
literally name you 5: Lobotka, Camavinga, Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha.
Away, though, bro.
Hold on,
Vitinha maybe, but like,
yeah, I give you Vitinha. Not Fabian Ruiz, in my opinion, anyway. But
just want to stay on topic.
As good as he is.
If I was to, I'm going to ask you a question in a sec, Matt. I just want to literally a one-word answer from all of you guys. Go around a circle. If I was to say to you, how many players do we need to bring in to come straight into the first 11? How many would it be? Drift, I'll start with you. One-word answer.
First 11, you mean like starters, like actual
11.
starters?
Starting 11, yeah.
3.
Matt?
But wait, does this include Trent leaving?
As of right now, he's still at the club, so we'll say no. We'll include Trent in the squad because he hasn't officially left.
My answer is 3, whether Trent stays or goes.
Starting players. So 2 or 3. Is it me, by the way?
Yeah, it's you, man.
Oh, sorry. I just thought whoever's just saying going.
What am I thinking? Wasn't that a Slot quote a while ago and not today?
I'd say 4, to be honest with you.
Because that's what I think people might be like. Because I've heard that quote is an old quote about like we don't need a lot.
No, you said that today.
No, you said that today.
Okay.
It felt like a bit of a brief today.
I think we need a new left back. That's obvious.
Hold on. So, Matt, how many did you say?
I'm going 3.
3. Is that including if Trent stays or goes?
Let's say Trent stays. We're going off the premise he stays.
Yeah.
I can think there's 3 positions that we can definitely upgrade on easily.
Right. Hassam, if Trent
4.
stays, and Tom, if Trent stays.
In the starting 11, I'm going to say 2.
All right. So I think everyone agrees left back, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is going on the premise Trent stays left back.
Yep. Yep.
Centre forward.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
For everyone who said 3, what's the other position?
For me, number 10.
Number 10.
Sorry, number 10. So yeah,
That's
number
right.
10.
Yep. That's
DM.
me.
If I was going to say 3, I'd say DM. If I was going to
Okay.
say 3, I would have said DM.
I say number 10 and left wing.
Over DM, Hassam.
No, I said 4. I want 4.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
so
you're doing
you-
left back, striker, 10, and left wing.
Because I look at it like Gravenberch and McAllister, we know they've got deficiencies from a defensive point of view. That's why I understand you guys saying DM. But I look at it like, but if we had a number 10 that could do more than what Szoboszlai was doing, we would be absolutely flying.
No,
But
because
then-
it's got to
But
be one or the other.
Is
for me.
the
No,
argument then
it's-
not that you get? So let's just say you
All
buy
right,
Ryan
just
Cherki.
quickly but let me land my point though. Everyone wants a lot of people rate Endo, so
Mhm.
even if I don't rate him as highly as some other people, what's wrong with Endo? You got Endo there, you got Bicetic coming back, you got cover there. You can get away. with
No,
that.
we've got to be realistic.
Let me land.
bro.
Let me
We've got
land.
to
Let me
talk
land.
about
Let me
who's
land.
not
Let me
been
land.
playing.
That's
Because
hype.
we're
Let me
not the
land. Let me
manager.
land. Let me land. We've got one number 10 in the whole squad that really plays, really and truly when he's fit. Yeah, there's no one else that really plays other than if Curtis Jones every now and again might start.
But
You're
we got
telling me
3
that
number
number 10
10s.
doesn't need to get upgraded upon or
We've
give
got 3
Szoboszlai
10s,
competition?
man.
Who's the
We've
free
got
10s?
3 10s. It's
50,
just
can
the
I
same
convince you with
situation
something?
DM
Who's the
situation.
free 10s?
Move. Okay,
We've
can I
got
convince you
Elliot,
with something?
we've got Szoboszlai, and we've got Jones. We've got
Does he
3
play
Elliot is
Elliot?
done this
No,
summer,
but
though.
he's not
Elliot's done.
utilizing these
But he
players.
doesn't play Endo, so that's the same thing from your argument.
No,
Okay,
He
but,
doesn't play Endo.
can I tell you something
The
honestly?
number 10 is for me is more problematic.
I think
I agree with
better,
Matt.
I think we've got better options in the 10 than we do in the DM. Elliot is a brilliant
absolutely not.
player. Jones is a good player. And Szoboszlai can be a brilliant player if he just, I don't know, takes the handbrake off.
None of them are brilliant, Drift.
Can I
think they
genuinely change Drifty's
No,
mind?
they're
Drifty,
good. They're
I have
none
a
of them
solution.
is brilliant.
Here we go with this.
I have a solution for you. Genuinely, I was thinking about this. Mr. Hairflex. All his best attributes are work rate and defensive. I think we should move him to be one of the DMs. Like him alongside another person. Him and McAllister, or him and Gravenberch, or Gravenberch and McAllister. And I think we should start Ryan Cherki ahead of them. That creativity, that now you don't need to 100% rely on Salah to create everything, I think will give this team so much breathing room. It's unbelievable. And this is not just going forward. I'm actually saying the team structure as a team. I'm talking pure football here. If we're watching a football game and the entire burden of creativity is on one player, you stop that player, you stop the team's creativity. But when there's 2 people and they're near each other and they're combining, if I've got Salah and Cherki creating triangles, that will create havoc for any opposition team. And we all agree that we need a new striker. You add in a striker on top of that, now you've got a triangle of hell if the striker is actually on job and scores goals and stuff. So for me, I'm not saying Szoboszlai should be removed from the team. I just think he should be moved to a different position. Because every single time he's in a position where he is expected. Yesterday, I watched a proper number 10. I watched the United Lyon game. Watching Cherki and then, being reminded of what Szoboszlai is in the 10. I don't even want to make the analogy I would make because this is, you get me? I want Kopish to not get demonetized. But the amount of times
He played on the wing.
I'm just talking pure risk taking. Me and you agreed on this the first show we did on Kopish together. Our problem with Szoboszlai is you're always in a dangerous position, never take risks. That has nothing to do with work rate, that has nothing to do with positioning, that has nothing to do with any of that. Despite what Andre or any of the Szoboszlai sections say, it's reality. He's in the final third so many times, doesn't take risks. You need a risk taker. You need someone to get the ball turn, and I'm ready now. I'm looking for the left winger. I'm looking for the right winger. I'm looking for the striker. I'm playing that through pass. That unlocks like 90% of the defenses, Drifty. So if Szoboszlai wants to do the work rate thing in the defensive thing, put him DM.
No, I agree with you in that regard. I want Cherki 100%. That kid is a baller. But I will say this to you though, Hassan. I'm not gonna lie to you. Especially the way that Slot wants to play with like the aggressive pressing and whatnot, bro. I'll be honest with you. If Cherki, Salah, and Gakpo are three of your front four, you are winning fuck all.
Oh, don't put Gakpo on that. Gakpo's numbers are good.
I disagree with that.
Gakpo can't press. Gakpo doesn't work hard. Gakpo's a brilliant GA.
Gakpo's defensive numbers are better than
No,
Diaz's.
from a defensive point of view, Gakpo doesn't work hard. He
does work hard. He's just not very good.
He doesn't help out defensively.
That's what I was going to say. He
No,
works hard, but he's just not great at it.
He's just not very good at it. He
He's
does
not
work
great.
hard.
All right, well, whichever way you want to play it, it is. Gakpo defensively is not good. He doesn't help defensively. Salah doesn't help defensively most of the time. And Cherki doesn't even think about defending. So if we had those as three of our four
yesterday's game showed a different story. That's all I'm saying.
From a creative point of view, Hassan, if we're on the ball, we'd be devastating. The amount of goals and the way we'd rip teams to pieces offensively would be a joke with Cherki in that 10. But bro, I'm telling you, the way Slot wants to play, we would be opened up so badly.
So
if behind them is Gravenberch and McAllister, all my days we'd let in 2 goals every game minimum.
So would you not take Cherki then?
No, I would, but if we get Cherki, it has to be Belieber or some beast next to
have to be
one of Gravenberch.
So you're saying put in
Cherki and the
to
DM.
compensate.
Yeah,
to compensate.
Yeah, because you've got someone.
I'm good with that. I don't mind that.
No, I'm fine with that.
There's
You need the DM before the attacking mid, though.
All right, watch this.
100%.
Watch this. I said this the other day. I was like, sometimes you have to compensate. Yeah,
look at Real Madrid as an example. Look how crap they are because they can't get their forwards to help defend. They are such a bad team because they got 3 or 4 players in their team who don't think they need to defend or they're not good at defending.
They're also
yeah, but the only one that does that at Liverpool, in my opinion, is Salah. The rest all defend. And Cherki, from what I watched yesterday against Man United, even with 10 men, the guy was running up and down the pitch like a box-to-box midfielder. Like no, he has work.
But he's not doing that on a random Saturday against Birmingham or something. He's not. That was a.
But here's the thing. I'm so glad you mentioned that.
I mean?
How many teams in the league, Drifty, are we expected to beat? Like everyone's going into that game going like, yep, Liverpool are going to win this game. Liverpool are going to dominate. Like what? Out of the 38 games.
About 80%.
Yeah, but I agree with you. But 32, 33, 34 games we're all expected to win. If we use our weapons instead of worrying about opposition weapons and we destroy the shit out of opponents, I think like if you have Cherki, Salah, and let's say we get a striker that can score goals, bro, that team can go back to back next season.
Yeah, but you get killed in transition though. I get Szoboszlai at DM does not work. He doesn't defend like a DM. So Szoboszlai
is not a 10.
He's not a 10 either.
I am willing. I am willing. You know what a number? Think of a number 10.
I'm willing to bet with Szoboszlai though. I'm willing to bet with. I've watched Szoboszlai play as a wider 10 for Hungary, and he cooks every single time.
Wide 10.
There's not much. He starts out there or he starts there. He can still
end
up
if
in those
you're
positions.
Central and you're receiving the ball, and you've got your back to goal, Szoboszlai, that's not his game, bro. Even from when he was at Salzburg, that's never been his game. I'm telling you.
But that's not the positions our 10 gets into.
No, but regardless,
sorry, Matt, and Tom. I just want to ask one question quickly to Hassan, just to clarify something before we go down a tangent. When you say you're dropping Sobo into the pivot, is he your DM or is he the box-to-box pivot player? Because there's a distinction there.
I think Gravenberch, we bring the best out of him with a runner around him, and I think McAllister, you bring the best out of him with a runner around him. Szoboszlai is a fantastic runner, work rate, defending, and this is literally what we need. So if he wants to, if he's like the box-to-box defensive player, I think that suits more the role. Remember one thing as well, next season, Trent is not going to be here. Like 99%.
Sorry, hold that really quickly, Sam. The reason
Can I just say one thing about Cherki? Sorry, because I went to get something.
Go on.
Coincidence is crazy, chat. Coincidence is mad. Because I just got a message in a group chat as soon as I said the Cherki thing. Look at this. These are Cherki's numbers in the Europa League. So against European opposition, Lyon are crap anyway. So we're not going to act like Lyon is this big boy in the Europa League or something. They're a shit team. Anyway, these are his numbers in the Europa League. 12 games in the Europa. 4 goals, 8 assists, 15 big chances created in 12 games, 3.8 key passes per game. Now, and by the way, Drifty's right. If I bring a destroyer DM and I put this guy in my team, no one can tell me I'm not going to win something next season. With this creativity,
with a DM, I agree with you. With a DM, I agree.
Can I quickly say something though? Just quickly regarding that. The narrative is if we was to get let's say we get Belabor, people suddenly think Szoboszlai is going to turn into this real number 10. It is not going to happen. It is not his game. People need to understand who Szoboszlai is. He gets quite a few goals when he was at Leipzig and Salzburg from free kicks. Not only that, he gets goals in transition. Szoboszlai is not the type of... No. I just used him as an example. What I'm saying is, though, we want to be a possession-based team. We're trying to come away from the counter-attacking team, so to speak, right? Szoboszlai on the half turn is not that guy. He doesn't have the footwork for it. Szoboszlai is the driver of the ball, driving to space. So if you play a 3-man midfield, that's why he actually worked better in the system that Klopp had when we had that 3-man midfield. He was asked to just join the attack. Because when he was at Leipzig and Salzburg, they played 4-2-2. Yeah, Szoboszlai was one of the 10s, like what Tom was saying. But you see, when he was one of the 10s, he was almost like a wide player. He's never been in those central areas. That's not his game. He needs space to run into. Whenever there's a tight game and the game's a bit close, you start to see deficiencies. He's not a bad player. He's just not a number 10. And that's what I want people to kind of understand.
I'm confused why we're back on Szoboszlai.
Yes. No, because it was to do with the Cherki.
Because Cherki is his direct replacement.
Because Cherki will work way better.
If we buy Cherki, Szoboszlai is coming out this team.
No, because you cannot. I'm sorry. I don't care how good at creating... I don't care how good at creating Ryan Cherki is. I'm not putting Ryan Cherki as my 10 when my 2 DMs are McAllister and Gravenberch. They're going to get fucking killed.
That's what I want to elaborate on. So, Sam, you're saying drop Szoboszlai back into the DM position or the pivot position. I don't have an issue with that. The only thing I would say, that still doesn't solve the issue of having a DM. That just adds another body in there. So you've got Jones, McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Gravenberch. None of those still would facilitate having Cherki in the team. For me, if you've got Cherki in the team, you need to have a combative midfielder in there. Not just who's got legs, but who susses out and reads danger and deals with the danger to allow Cherki to thrive. I will also say, I would still have Szoboszlai in the rotation with Cherki because there are certain games in the season where, away from home against an Arsenal, for example, away from home against the Man City, away from home against the Chelsea, Szoboszlai for me would work better than having Cherki in the team from a standpoint of we might not be able to dominate the ball, but when we do have a chance to win the ball back, Szoboszlai can trust more than Cherki. So I don't think it's just if Cherki comes in, Szoboszlai never touches pitch again. I think it just allows us to have that option of having a more creative 10 and a more of an industrial number 10, which I think
it's all about options.
But that's what I said. That was the point.
But what I'm saying is, if he moves back into the pivot,
competition,
it still doesn't resolve the issue of DM. I genuinely still believe, as great as McAllister's been, as great as Gravenberch has been, that is the undoing of why we went out in the Champions League, why we didn't beat Newcastle in the final, and Plymouth was just Plymouth.
So you're telling me if I put Cherki in the 10 against Newcastle, we don't beat them? Do you honestly believe that?
No,
bro,
we don't.
No way. No way.
You guys I'm sorry. It's just.
You're talking to Cherki.
Sam, he's better.
If I put Cherki in the 10, you really believe we don't beat them?
Yes, because Sam, we don't get the ball to him. We don't get the ball to him.
Elliot is literally a worse version of Cherki, and he's the only one that played a through ball the whole game.
He came on with 15 minutes ago.
He's the only one that played a through ball on the ground.
Sam, if you start Ryan Cherki against Newcastle, it doesn't fix the problem because
it gets worse.
We wouldn't get the ball to him. The problem was we couldn't progress the ball. So we ended up going long for the first half.
But Cherki can carry the ball in tight spaces.
Even if you carry the ball in tight spaces, as we saw yesterday.
Who's getting him the ball, Matt?
How is the ball getting into him?
Are we acting like McAllister? Come on, we're acting like McAllister can't pass. What I'm saying is,
Do we all agree that Szoboszlai are number 10 this season? We all agree, right? No
Matt,
excuses,
we
no
watched
nonsense.
we
These
watched
are
that
number 10.
Newcastle game.
Szoboszlai this
Yeah,
season in
Shout
30
out.
Premier League games has
Shout
created
out.
9 big chances.
yeah, that's crazy.
Do you understand the numbers?
Do you know what?
Every
one
3
narrative
games, and he doesn't get subbed off or something. Every 3 games, he creates you 1 big chance. That's
You
your
know,
number
what-
10 currently.
one narrative about Cherki that I think is wrong. Yeah, his work rate for me is an issue. Right? He wants to only go forward. He doesn't want to defend. I think that's where the problem could lie. One narrative that's wrong about Cherki, in my opinion, though, is that he's weak. I think Cherki is very aggressive and very strong.
Thank you.
Very
Never-
aggressive. He
never
ain't getting bullied. Maybe he won't work as hard, but he's not getting bullied. I've never seen anybody bully Cherki before, ever.
Never.
So, yeah, he might not run back and might not do those extra yards we need that Szoboszlai does. But if he's going into a 50-50 with a Bruno Cheru, with a
Bruno Guimaraes.
Bruno Cheru.
with a Bruno Guimaraes or like a Tonali, they're not bullying Cherki. I'm telling you now that Cherki's not going to come out of there like, oh, I'm the weak one. Sorry, have the ball.
His work rate
He's
isn't even
given
that
as good
bad.
as he gets in that. In
He
that battle.
isn't that bad
Trust
at
me.
all.
His-
This work
his
rate
work
is
rate-
amazing.
No,
even
but Joe,
bad.
it is
It's not
the
for
fan
Pogba.
base have fallen in love with Szoboszlai doing
no,
the
fan base is
hard
falling-
yards in the number in the number 10.
not
In the
for
number
Szoboszlai,
10, hard yards.
That's
in the
what it
number
is, 'cause it's
10.
the
It's
work
not
rate
just
and all this
Szoboszlai,
stuff.
man. It's
No,
not just
no,
Szoboszlai.
but-
They've fallen in love with a non-stop midfielder, like because we had Klopp and that was his system. This
Yeah.
isn't Slot's system. Slot doesn't rely on the fullbacks to create the creativity. Therefore, the midfield has to be industrial. Slot's relying on the 10s and the wingers to be the creative ones now. So, like, that's where it is now. So,
But when
it's
we
not
say
gonna-
relying on the
you
10
have
to
to
be
have midfielders in there who
is
can
he
compensate.
actually relying on the 10 to be the creator? Because to me, when I watch Liverpool this season, the game plan isn't about get it to one of the front 3 and let them create it. Get it to Salah, and then we'll play off Salah.
that's because
Tom,
he's
you're
not able to
making
do
this
it, Tom.
such a
Why are
basic
people getting so
approach.
emotional in the chat?
Guys, can
No,
you stop? Can you, Tom, can you stop this
Sam,
basic approach?
Andre,
No,
stop
because
being
you're sitting
emotional,
there,
man.
you're sitting there just going, "Oh, Ryan Cherki on the ball, he's great." I agree, he's great on the ball. But our problem this season,
Hey, Tom,
and
do you
the
want to
reason
talk
we
football
have
or just
certain
shout?
competitions,
You want to
the
talk football,
reason-
just shout. Is Trent leaving this club next season? Yes, or no? Okay,
Yes.
we agree. Agreed.
Mhm.
Already, my
Have
playmaking.
we used
already
Trent in
my
the same way that
playmaking
we
is
have
down in
previous
half.
years? No, have we used Trent in the same way that we have previous years?
Not in the same way,
No,
but he's
we
still
have
been
not
one of our
used
most
him the
creative
same
players.
way.
He still,
That's
he
not
still
my
has a
claim.
creative role. No,
Are
no.
Trent and Salah the 2 playmakers in this team? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And McAllister.
By
but
virtue,
yeah.
yes, but Trent has been so
Okay,
has been
no
a lot less
problem.
involved this season.
Now remove Trent from the team. Put
Yeah.
in a right back, whoever it is. Wanderson, Bradley, Wesley. No one cares, right?
Mhm.
They cannot offer what Trent offers, regardless of what that slot system is or not. Already, by definition, with Trent leaving my team, my playmaking is down in half because I've lost one of my 2 playmakers. The smart thing to do would be to employ actually what you are talking about. If you stopped shouting and stopped leaning back like Fat Joe from 20 years ago and actually listen to what we're saying. Now, I've got a prototypical left back, Kirkaz. I've got a prototypical right back, Wanderson.
Mhm.
They're both running up and down the pitch. They
Yeah.
both defend and attack at the same time.
Mhm.
The smart thing to do would be bring in number 10 who can create because I've
And
lost
that's,
my
and, that- and
playmaking.
that's where you've lost
from
me.
right
And that's
back.
where you've lost me. That's where you've lost me though, because you're going, you want your left back bombing on. You want your right back bombing on. You want your wingers high and wide. You want your striker in there. You want your 10 to just float around. The moment we lose the ball, because guess what? You lose the fucking ball when you attack at times. The moment we lose the ball, we're leaving Konate and Van Dijk and Gravenberch to deal with transition. They will.
Did
get
I not just
fucking-
say our right back is prototypical? But you didn't hear that part.
No, I did, because guess what? They're not Usain Bolt. They can't go up and down at the speed of fucking light. If they've gone up to join an attack, they need time to get back. In transition, against
All the
top
best teams in
they
history
will
get
kill us.
counter-attack. What's your point?
Teams
but
are
if
better
you-
at
if you-
dealing
Fact,
with it.
most
No, I
of the
think-
times, as a matter of fact, 90% of the goals that all the elite teams concede are on the counter. So now what?
I think what Tom's trying to say, Hassan, I might be wrong here, is that if we've got a 10 who's super attacking, if we've got 2 wingers who are super attacking, and we've got a traditional number 9, that's 4 attackers already. If we then add 2 fullbacks into that attack as well, then you're effectively defending with 4 players every time. That's hoping the midfielders get back.
Unless
Which
it's not
would
even
leave
4, because
space
McAllister's going to be
Which
pushing
would-
up
which
there.
would leave a lot of space.
That's a fantastic
Hence
point,
why-
Callum. Fantastic point. Can you open a new tab now? The team that played for Manchester City in the treble winning season in the final. Open that up right now.
What, the one
Tell
with
me
has four
who
centre
the
backs?
tell me who the destroyer is. And tell
Rodri.
me who the
Rodri,
the
bro.
non-marauding fullbacks are. Gvardiol was so high up the pitch. He scored like 15
They have
goals.
Rodri, bro.
Oh, really?
They have the best
you can
DM on the planet.
You can really look into this camera right now. Someone's been doing YouTube for 8 years, 7 years, and tell me Rodri's a destroyer.
All right, shall I tell you the team they started with then? Yeah.
Yes,
I'll
tell
you.
me. Team in the
Edison,
final.
Akanji, Ruben Diaz, Ake, Stones, Rodri, and then in midfield. Well, so all right, Ake, Akanji,
Yeah.
and Ruben Diaz were back three. Stones and Rodri were the two DMs. Bernardo, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Grealish, and then Haaland was the striker.
Okay, so who's the destroyer?
That's for Rodri. Rodri's that good at DM. He can play any mode you want.
You know who's
He's
also a
that
good
good.
DM? You know
Rodri's
who's
just
also a good
complete
DM,
midfielder.
Tom?
I don't think we should.
Gravenberch is a good DM.
He's not doing. Oh my
So
God,
if I build around him,
Wait, we're not going to compare Gravenberch to Rodri. We're not going to do that.
we're
love
not
Gravenberch.
going to compare Gravenberch.
He's not
to Rodri. I'm
comparing.
saying
He's
a
not
good
comparing.
DM.
He's not comparing.
Now, I'm saying let's look at the prototype that we're losing out on, which is Trent, versus putting in a traditional right back. A traditional right back that's not Trent can defend better than Trent, but attack less better than Trent. Okay, that's usually the prototypical right backs. So now I've got better defensively at right back. I've got better defensively at left back because Robertson has just absolutely no football IQ anymore. So now I'm better defensively right back and left back. And I've got Gravenberch and whoever, Gravenberch, McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, rotation, rest, Curtis Jones, McAllister, whatever it is. Now, prototypically, all the elite teams that we have all grew up watching and all idolized and all went like, wow, you're amazing. They usually attack in front fours. I've seen videos where managers are breaking down teams from even 20 years ago where they're talking about the attack always initiates in these front fours. And they essentially what happens with the team is it's like 6 people are defensive and 4 people are offensive. Now, with these 4 people, it's going to be Salah, it's going to be the number 10, the striker, and the left winger. Now, if we do get counterattacked with a more prototypical left back and a prototypical right back, I can defend down the flanks and I'm going to have to defend less because I've got a technical number 10 who creates chances which will worry opposition. And I thank Drifty for actually saying this because this is something that people always say about Cherki, which is completely not true. Like as if he's some bitch that just gets bullied off the ball every single time. By the way, Cherki is very combative. Like he's very combative on the football. He doesn't lose it often. And can I tell you why I want Cherki starting in this team ahead of Szoboszlai? Excuse my French, but Cherki is not a pussy. Meaning the 300 times Szoboszlai was in a dangerous position this season, Cherki would have done something. Does it come off every time? No. But guess what? He fucking tries. Meaning, when he gets the ball outside the 18, he's going to shoot. He's going to have a through ball.
Because Ryan Cherki doesn't have to make up for his mistake, does he? Because Ryan Cherki is not the guy, the moment the ball is lost, who has to run back 50 yards for Leon to go cover right back. He's not. Ryan Cherki is the guy who gives the ball away.
You completely dismissed everything I just said about prototypical right back.
I've not at all.
I think both of you got points.
You're acting like a prototypical right back is constantly in the right position every time.
He doesn't do that for Leon. He wouldn't have to do it for us because Trent is gone, Tom. That's the point.
Trent has been better defensively than I've ever seen him before this year. We've tried to protect him defensively as much as we ever have before. And we still, in pretty much every single game, need Dominic Szoboszlai to get back and cover that channel. Because
normally, actually, it's Ibu, actually, to be fair.
Ibu
no, because that Ibu,
and sometimes Grav gets pulled out
behind,
to the flank as well.
Ibu covers behind it. So Ibu covers the long ball that goes over Trent. But Szoboszlai runs back to get into a line at times when Trent's up to form effectively a midfield 3 until Trent gets back, and then he'll go back forward.
I understand that, but Gravenberch is already there to pull out wide. Szoboszlai's making his way back. So it's not, you're making it seem like he's just Szoboszlai. I hear what you're saying, but Gravenberch is already there. Gravenberch gets pulled out wide. Szoboszlai then goes to help Gravenberch. You said.
Right, so Gravenberch goes out wide. But the moment Dominic Szoboszlai is back within distance, Gravenberch will tuck back in. Gravenberch only goes out wide because if he didn't go out wide, there would be the massive gap. The point I'm making is Szoboszlai is the guy. Whenever we give the ball away in an attacking sense, it's not Salah who has to go, fuck's sake, sprint all the way back to form that midfield. It's not Gakpo. It's not fucking the striker. Even then, the right Trent at times jogged back. Konate goes out wide. Gravenberch at times goes into centre back. And it's always Szoboszlai, the one who has to go, fuck's sake, and runs all the way back to join and help out defensively.
But bro, Joe, it is sometimes even when you're pressing,
That
I
is
know
facts.
obviously
Tom speaking facts there.
this is
I don't
what I
disagree
slightly
with the fact-
disagree though.
No,
Because-
my point is this, Matt. I
Yeah,
don't
go on.
disagree with the fact that at points this year, Dominic Szoboszlai is taking the easy option and passed when he
Thank
should have
you.
shot.
Thank
I
you.
don't disagree with that, but I think part of that is because he's sitting there going, if one of these cunts gives it away, I've got to run back. I'm the one who's got to make up for
You
it.
just got
I'm-
Kopish demonetized.
Sorry,
I'm
I'm
talking
the
about
one-
the C word. Don't drop the C word.
I'm the one.
100%.
I'm the one who's got to get all the way back and help out. I'm the one who's got to do it. So my point is, he's going up there because he picks up the ball from deep. He drives forward. He's looking at it going, if I give it to Nunes, he's going to give it away. If I give it to Diaz, it might get given away. I'll just take if I try and shoot and it gets blocked, then I've got to run all the way back. I'll give it to Salah because I know that Salah can take
You're
the right
making this
option.
about Nunes and
If-
Diaz because you're
If
coping.
no, Hassan, because
No,
you've got to
no,
let me finish
Sam,
my
he's
point.
got a point. He's got a
If-
point.
He
if
does not
we
have
had-
a point because
Hassan,
Nunes
let
is
me
like
finish, for
Nunes on
fuck's
the
sake.
planet more than
Hassan,
me. You're
Hassan,
not using Nunes
Hassan,
as the reason why Szoboszlai
Hassan,
doesn't take risks. What
Hassan,
kind of
let me
logic?
Let me finish. My point is, if you had an actual DM in there, an actual top DM who was there to cover everything, and that's not me saying Gravenberch is bad, but he's not this DM. He's not this DM that wins 3 tackles, makes 5 interceptions game in, game out. He's not a Caicedo. That's fine. But if you had that type of DM, then Szoboszlai might take more risks because he knows that if he loses it, the setup behind him can win it back quicker.
So wait,
Such a
so
risk
you just
taker,
said
bro.
the reason why Szoboszlai doesn't take risks is
If
Nunes
you
and
don't have a
Diaz.
DM.
And you said, give him a DM and he's gonna take more risks.
All right,
This
all
is
right.
this
argument
this
is
myth.
100%.
This is
All
what
right,
I'm saying.
wait,
This is the
wait.
bit. No, wait. You see when Tom? All right, this is the bit that I'm
Mhm.
confused with. I understand the pressing stuff, but again, there is this myth that if we get a DM, Szoboszlai is suddenly just not going to stop running because that's what he does anyway, and all of a sudden he's going to be more creative and he won't have to run back as much. I am telling you from now, it is how he plays. That's by design. It's how he plays football. I'm telling you right now, no matter what DM we get, Szoboszlai is not changing the way how he plays. That's just who he is. He's an industrious type player who does have very good shooting technique. He is not a risk taker, bro. The only risk that he will ever take is a free kick, bro. And when he was in Germany, he would take a couple of long shots. But that is it. He's never been a risk
Matt,
taker.
can I
Why
ask
aren't
you a
people
question?
understanding that? I
Can
don't
I
get
ask
it.
you a question then, bro? And I'm not even
Genuine.
saying, I'm not even going to point the finger at one individual. I'm just going to say, in general, as a sweeping statement, I was told we were buying a Kevin De Bruyne type player. So from what you're describing, he's absolutely nothing like Kevin De Bruyne.
No
So
way near.
why was I gaslit 2 years ago that we were getting a Kevin De Bruyne type player?
Szoboszlai is closer
Szoboszlai
to
could
Henderson than he
shoot
is Kevin De Bruyne.
from long range.
No, but
He's
why was
more-
I
Let me land,
gaslit into telling me that he was a Kevin
He's
De
meant to
Bruyne?
be more of a goal scoring 10 than a creative 10.
Really? Where are the goals, brother?
No, let me land. But he's not been scoring the goals, hence why he's been called out, not just by the manager, but in the same way Lampard was more of a goal scoring midfielder than a creative midfielder. In the same way, Xavi was more of a creative midfielder than a goal scoring midfielder. The issue with Szoboszlai is he's not
neither.
scoring goals and he's not getting enough assists. So all the other work he's doing is fantastic. And for this season, if you take him out of the team, we don't win the league. In the same way you take Grav out, you take Mac
Are
out.
you mad?
No, we don't. If Harvey
No,
Elliott,
Hassan, that's facts. That's facts. Szoboszlai is a
if
major
Harvey
part
Elliott's
of us
playing,
winning the
if
league.
Harvey Elliott plays 80% of the games that Szoboszlai has played this season, we don't win the league. And Elliott's more creative, but we don't win the
Szoboszlai
league.
is the most replaceable player in the whole team.
No, but
Only
but this is what's happened.
I
though. Since he's come
disagree
to
with that,
Liverpool,
Hassan. I disagree.
since
with
he's
that.
come to
So
Liverpool,
you're telling me if we replace Szoboszlai with Conor Gallagher, it would make a difference?
No, he's
so
better
like
than
Conor Gallagher.
So everyone's gonna act like I'm crazy now. But just think about it.
He's better
We're
than Gallagher.
No, in the
number
10, no. If you're talking about Conor Gallagher in the 10, then no, we don't get any better at all. In the 10, no.
It's
No,
the same
no.
exact player.
No, it's
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
I'm not
It's
going that
literally
far.
the same exact
No, but this is
player.
what I'm saying.
We're
No,
ranked
but
number 10.
Szoboszlai's almost been misprofiled. This is what I will say. When he was in Germany, he used to shoot. He would take the odd risk, but you wouldn't necessarily say he's a risk taker. But you see, when he gets high up into the pitch, yeah, there were times when he'd make a decent pass, and there were times when he would just leg one. And I thought, do you know what? If he can do that in England at a higher clip, we're onto something here. What's happened is this: you've got into a club team. You're playing in a 3-man midfield, and if I'm not mistaken, Szoboszlai started like a house on fire, doing everything, doing all the running. He was shooting from long range. But what's happened is we've moved him further forward, but it's like he's regressed. And not only that, he defers. He's starting to defer. If you go and watch Szoboszlai in his first 6 months at Liverpool, he was not deferring as much. I don't know what's happened, but now he defers all the time. When he gets the ball,
my question, Matt.
He just gives the ball to Salah all the time.
Is some
He
of
wasn't
this
doing that last year.
By the way, I'm not trying to make this out that this is all on the manager, because there's obviously been times where he's in the right position, he doesn't shoot, or he doesn't do the pass he's meant to. Is there an element that the manager has said, we don't want you taking as many risks? Could that have been the case?
No.
Why is it shut down so quickly when we've seen that Ian Graham has spoken about this in terms of past players and past systems and regimes? Why is it shut down? Again, I'm not sitting there saying every time Sobo has the ball and he loses it, or every time he gets the ball and he doesn't shoot.
Yeah, but you don't need to say the safety blanket statements. Don't worry, we're only on Kopish.
I'm making it clear for everyone watching as well.
No one's gonna hold this against you, but it's an objective conversation.
They hold everything against me. I'm used to it now. But surely there must be an element where Slot says, "Look, don't go too gung ho, because if we lose the ball, then we're going to be on the transition all the time."
Okay, can I give you an honest example? The reason why what you're saying doesn't hold like weight for me with the Szoboszlai argument is because the Szoboszlai that I watch against Ipswich is the same Szoboszlai that I watch against Man City. It's the same exact type of player. It's the same prototype of player. I don't think Slot is coming to Szoboszlai pre-game and going like, "Hey Dominic, don't take too much risks and don't shoot and don't try." No, of course there is no one that will employ a number 10 in his team and tell him don't take risks.
The game before Milan, he got called out for not doing enough.
Literally, Slot called him out
he
for
bagged in that game.
Which I said, but you can't sit there and say it's the same Sobo that played against Man City against the same Sobo that played against
he has good games.
I'm talking about his mannerisms, his lack of risk-taking, the way that he plays. That's what I'm talking about.
He doesn't do enough.
Do you know what's weird? Szoboszlai has been an extremely important player to Liverpool winning the league this year. But at the same time, which sounds like a contradiction, he is a problem in our squad. I know that sounds like the weirdest thing to say, but I'm guessing everybody kind of knows what I'm saying.
Problem in our starting 11, not in our squad. Problem in our starting 11.
Well, that's what I mean. Well? Yeah, he's a problem. Like, do you know what our real issue is? I don't even want to change subject. We got too many players in our team that we don't actually know where the fuck they play their best football. That is what the problem is. I can go through about 4 or 5 players just off the top of my head. And we're like,
in the starting 11.
It's not.
No, in the squad.
It's not. There's 2 players.
There's about 4 or 5 players just off the top of my head where I can be like, what is his best position?
Name the players.
2 players. There's 2 players. No.
Elliot. What is their best position?
You're missing the point.
Jones and Gravenberch, their best positions in the pivot. Elliot's best position is the
not necessarily. Not necessarily, Bob. Jones came through the youth academy as an attacking player. Slot turned him into a pivot
in the
player,
professional game, though.
Slot turned him into nobody here would have ever said that Jones should be playing pivot before Slot.
Klopp turned him into a box midfielder, not Slot.
You just said he's a pivot player. That's not a box to box.
I don't think Jones is a pivot player. I don't think Jones' best games will come in the pivot.
You've got 2 pivots. You've got 2 pivot players. The way the pivot is meant to work is one covers horizontally and the other one's meant to cover vertically. Jones is not the horizontal cover.
Not always. Loads of pivots is they both provide protection and don't really move too far past the halfway line. If you have a proper 10, your pivot don't really.
But McAllister breaks into the 10. McAllister actually goes forward a lot. He's the vertical. He breaks lines. I'm a line, Tom. You've seen it. McAllister will almost be in our front four.
I'm not saying that's not. No, I'm not saying that's not what McAllister does. But we're also talking about a player who kind of is more of an 8-10 than he is a 6. McAllister's brilliant and creative. But if you were putting McAllister in his ideal position, it wouldn't really be a 6. It would probably be an 8 or a 10, right? Like if you was actually to say where you think you'll get the most out of McAllister would probably be an 8 in a 3-man midfield. That's why he does that, because he's being natural.
The best you see of McAllister and Jones this year is when we invert someone into the midfield and we go from having a pivot into having a sort of triangle 3-man, but like what we used to do last season, where two centre mids and a DM. Yeah, and Trent inverts in. So we done it against Chelsea at points. We done it. You remember that 10-game run where everyone said our season was going to fall apart in October? Trent inverted a lot in that run, and you'd see him and Gravenberch play alongside each other at large parts of that game. And we effectively, in that run, defended, instead of this 4-2-4 that we do, this lopsided one where the left winger forms a 3 and then it's all a bit weird. We defended in a 4-1-4-1. And we had, because no one else was fit, so Nunes was up front and told, run round. We'll have a solid space behind you. You just chase round up there and wear yourself out like a dog. And we had McAllister, and because Szoboszlai missed some of them games, McAllister and Jones, and then when he came back, McAllister and Szoboszlai is the 2-8s going up and down, up and down. And Jones' best game this season, for me, his 2 best games this season have been Chelsea at home and Man City away.
Leverkusen,
he got an assist.
Jones,
I don't think
that great against Man City away.
I thought he was massively important.
He gave the ball away a lot and made a lot of mistakes because he was almost asked to play as a false 9. It didn't suit him. Jones wasn't great against Man City.
I thought he was very good against City for the job he had to do.
Leverkusen and Chelsea, even the Chelsea game, he got the winner. But the first half, people were asking for Jones to get hooked at half time against Chelsea.
I don't know who.
Jones didn't have a good first half against Chelsea.
Jones was
against Chelsea. He scored in the second half. What do you mean hooked in the first half?
No,
Jones won the penalty in the first half. He created all the chances, and he could have got a second pen.
He didn't win the penalty. We didn't get a penalty in the first.
Yes, we did against Chelsea.
Tom,
against Chelsea, we got a pen. That's how we went 1-0 up.
We scored the penalty literally against Chelsea, Callum.
I think you're getting schooled in this quiz.
You're confused with another game, I'll be real.
I can't remember. But do you know what, though? While you're checking, I just want to say this, and tell me if you lot disagree, yes or no. We're about to win the league, yeah? And I've said it so many times without a striker this season. Nunes has been crap. Jota's been crap. And I'll tell you this as well. I feel really bad because it's now more onus on Szoboszlai. Not saying that Szoboszlai shouldn't get, like, you know, the criticism that he's getting now, but I think it's the fact of because we don't have a striker, it actually highlights Szoboszlai more. Because I'll say this, if we had a very good striker this year that was banging in goals, we would still talk about Szoboszlai, but I don't think we'll talk about him as much.
I think that's the point I get to, Matt.
There's 2 Watler strikers as well.
If we had a top DM and we had a top striker and Dominic Szoboszlai's playing and still give me the same problems, then I'll be on your side. But right now, I'm sitting there going, I've got sympathy for him. He's the pieces around him. I mean, and he's got to do all the jobs. If we get the right pieces around him, then I'll be on him.
He can be upgraded, though. He can still be upgraded, whether you have sympathy or not.
Because again, he's not upgraded. He's not immune from criticism. But what I'm saying is, if we had at least one bad boy striker at the club, there is less onus on him to at least from an attacking point of view, you could probably get away with it. But because we literally have no striker, we literally won the league.
Bad boy striker. He just had a crap season.
We don't have a bad boy striker.
We don't have a bad boy striker. Unfortunately, Jota after the injuries, the debate is out.
Jota hasn't been great since that ankle injury. He got the back end.
Since the
injury and form have been poor. But I'm not going to dismiss what he is, though. He is a bad boy striker.
If you're saying injuries and form, then he's not a bad boy striker anymore. He used to be a bad boy striker.
This is the first poor season he's had at Liverpool.
But Drift, he's not a bad boy striker now.
This isn't the first poor season he's had at Liverpool, by the way.
I would say is
all of a sudden. All right, cool,
it's not that, but you can tell.
No, because Drift. There was that year where we finished 5th. He didn't score for a year. Like that year,
wasn't he injured?
Remember, I never even said sell him. You know, I just said he's not a bad boy striker. I didn't say sell him. You know,
he missed October till I think it was 3 months. Actually, he missed October till about February of that year. But from August, September, October,
people don't want to rate Jota. That's fine.
I don't rate him. No,
this isn't the Jota that I rate though. This is.
I just said he's not.
Hold on, Matt. When was the last time Jota had 10 great games in a row?
Well, my memories doesn't go back that far. He's been because he's been poor this season. I don't really remember how many runs in the team he's had or whatever.
So by us saying he's not a bad boy striker anymore, in the same way Kevin De Bruyne is not a bad boy.
No one said anymore, or I would have been all right with it. It was just we don't have a good striker.
What did I say?
You said we don't have a good striker.
We don't have a bad boy striker right now. We just won the league without a striker. That's what I just said. Neither have
Words are being
contributed.
added, but fine, forget it.
What?
So he's
All
so
right.
right now.
Need
so hold
someone.
on, hold on,
Wait.
So you-
Right
so we
now,
did-
right now,
Just
we're
quickly,
beginning.
I
We'll
said
back with
this
those
season.
words
I
right
literally said this season. I didn't say his career. My whole statement was we've just won the league without a bad boy striker this season. We won the league without a striker. Did I say that? And I strictly said we won the league this season without a striker. Is that not fair to say?
But the point still remains that if his form regained, he is a good striker
Your
because
drift.
you
has
said
he
we don't have a
contributed?
good striker. The actual statement was we don't have a good striker. So that's why I said no, we do.
2025
Jota.
like, in
He's had a
2025,
bad
We
season.
don't have a bad boy striker in
2025
the
we don't.
team. We've won the league without a striker this season. I literally said that, bro.
But the statement, forget it. The statement wasn't about this season in regards to do we have a good striker or not. That's why I said no, we do. It's Jota. He's just had a bad season.
And I said this
But forget
season
it.
we've just won the
There's no
league
point
without a
arguing with
striker.
that.
I don't
No,
understand.
I'm
It's
talking
A
about
to
the
B.
statement about us not having a good striker. But let's just go on. Anyway,
Tom,
go
did
on.
you understand what I was saying when I said we won the league without a striker this season?
That wasn't the
Did you
point
understand
when
what
you
I'm
was
saying?
talking about us not having it. Forget it. Finish your point.
I got my.
Can I ask you guys
got
all
my
a question back to the debate that we had? Because Callum likes to ask questions about name this and name that. You know, I know.
By the way, Cal,
Andres
did you find out
fine
if you got a
in the
pen
comments.
in that game against Chelsea this year?
Name.
I
He did. Yeah, Callum had a stinker and hook there. Just
No,
like
I'll admit to you if I was wrong.
yeah,
we
that's fine.
could have had two because
Tom never admits when he's wrong. He's always wrong and strong. That's what makes him Tom Little.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, back to the topic.
Stubborn fucker.
Can you guys name 3 goals this season where a through ball was played from like our midfield in behind and someone scored?
Diaz against Leverkusen.
Who played that pass?
Jones.
Okay.
Elliot
Diaz
gave
in
me
the home game against
Elliot against
who was it right at the
Newcastle.
beginning of the season when Diaz scored?
Ironically, I think Jones is the one that's played all these through balls.
Yes, Jones actually is the one that played all the
the
through
one I was
balls.
going to say was
I'll help you. The
Salah
Jones
versus
pass to Salah when he begged
Against
it with the
Lille.
celebration.
No,
Yeah.
Elliot's passed for the Newcastle Cup final.
Elliot
That
and Chiesa. Can you name one for Szoboszlai?
How many sisters Szoboszlai got this year?
well the one for Nunes, right? Against Villa.
Which one?
That was Salah.
No, the one where Nunes skied it, an empty net against Villa. That was Szoboszlai passer.
Yeah, but that was like a pass.
Are you talking about he picks up the ball in the 10 and threads a pass through the defense?
To be fair,
Yeah,
I
okay,
did
so-
forget about that.
So how many
The
for
one that-
Szoboszlai can you name this whole year?
Going back through the games, I mean,
Like even through memory.
not many.
And has he started not almost 99% of the games
Yeah,
this
yeah.
season?
But Hassan, this is what I've been saying.
UCL, Prem, and everything. Our number 10, ladies and gentlemen, has 9 big chances created in 30 games. Do you guys honestly say
the only one where he's played a through ball is
stop
United?
barking. Let me speak. So do
I
you
was
think
just
now
answering
the
your
last
point.
the last 30 Premier League games this season, Szoboszlai has 9 big chances. Deep what that number means every 3 games he creates 1 big chance. Do you understand how shit those numbers are? Meaning every 90 plus 90, 180 plus 90, 270 minutes. Every 270 minutes of football, the guy is creating 1 big chance. Do you understand how much lack of a risk taker you have to be as the number 10 to create 1 big chance every 3 games?
I'm
Like,
not
do you
gonna lie.
understand-
When
Do
you
you understand
actually
this
put it in
has nothing to do
perspective,
with manager or slot instructions or Salah is in the team or any excuses? There is no way that a football player who plays in the number 10 and is actually like technically good and can create 1 big chance in 3 games as the number 10 for Liverpool Football Club.
Do you know what I just thought of though? Just quickly, you see how you just mentioned about the through ball situation, and you said it was mainly Kop-Ish Jones that's played arguably the most. Yeah, who are the people that scored the goals? Quickly, who are the people that scored the goals?
I think Curtis
just
Jones
Walker
assisted
Jones.
like Salah 4 times. if I'm not mistaken.
Salah and Diaz and
Yeah,
Chiesa
and
are the
Chiesa
ones
from
that
Elliot.
assisted them ones.
Have you noticed again? No striker.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm going to say to kind of back up Szoboszlai ever so slightly. Szoboszlai, when he normally starts, is playing alongside a Jota or Nunes. He can't assist either of them right now. They're that bad this season.
no, we're
And
not gonna blame.
We're not
Jota.
gonna blame Jota and Nunes for
I'm
Szoboszlai's
not.
fault.
I'm not.
That
I'm
is
not, but you're missing the
proper
point.
deflecting away
It's
from
not
Szoboszlai.
deflecting. Listen to what I'm going to say to you. Listen to what I'm going to say. It's a system issue. At the same time, it is. We play better, it would seem, and like what the points have just been proven is that when you're seeing the through balls, they're being played to wide players or runners off the ball, shall we say? Because what I'm struggling to understand is, if this was the case, and we're going to say it's not the strikers or whatever, surely the strikers would have scored some of them assists that Jones has provided or whatnot. But that hasn't been the case, though, has it? Is that fair to say?
That's circumstantial because we don't know what the moment was in the game, etc., etc.
No. It's just it's there for everyone to see.
Tell me a time when he's tried.
Let's
forget about who's even up front.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, look, now I'm not even a number 10. Yeah, but at the park or just ramping, you play different positions or different roles, right? In non-competitive. If I've ever been in the midfield in a game or whatever, do you know how much joy it brings me to do through balls and passes and try and be credible?
No, of course, I know it's just, of course.
So how can Szoboszlai be in that position and never get that urge to want to do it?
No, bro.
And if your excuse is Jota Nunes, why doesn't he create for Salah?
If I have a go at Szoboszlai, I can't win. If I try and defend someone, what I'm saying is this though: there's genuinely an issue. First of all, he doesn't take enough risks. I've already said that he doesn't. But to his point, to the next point I'm going to say though is this: he don't take enough risks, but also the players that he should take risks with per se, they're not helping him out either. It's only really the wide players. That's the one thing I will say. To his slight, and I say slight defense. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's only really Salah or Diaz that will probably make that run where he slides the ball.
I've played 10 before. I'm telling you this as a fact. If I've got the ball and I'm not seeing someone who's willing to make that run into the defense or in behind the defense, I can't create anything. I've got to hang on to the ball and I've got to pass it short. I've got to pass.
No, but Cal, who's that in our team? All our forwards make runs. Who's not making runs?
Yeah, all our forwards make runs.
All our forwards make Diaz, Nunes, Salah. All our forwards make runs.
Wait.
I wouldn't say Diaz is
And
great.
if you're excusing Jota and Nunes, why can't he assist Salah?
Let me land. Guys, let me land. How often does Jota, Diaz, Gakpo, Nunes, and Salah run beyond the defense?
Enough for Szoboszlai to have somebody to aim for.
They want the ball into feet, guys. What are we doing here?
No, come
on.
Man.
Gakpo wants the ball.
Apart from Nunes, everyone wants the ball into feet.
You think
Diaz makes runs in behind as well?
Not often.
Diaz ain't really like that, you know.
Maybe they don't make the runs because no one's going to pass the ball.
Gakpo more so.
All right, let me flip it then, Cal. You just said as a number 10. All right, Cal, let me flip it. You said as a number 10. You said as a 10, you need somebody making those runs. I hear you. I'm never saying that's wrong. Let me flip it. I'm a striker. I ain't making a run if no one's passing me the ball. The fuck am I wasting my time for?
So it's because that's what you're meant to do as a footballer. You're meant to be selfless.
No, if I know every time Szoboszlai gets on the ball, he's not going to pass to me, eventually I'm going to stop running. What is the point if I know he's never going to pass?
Because he's trying to find dad on the pitch.
As a 10, then I'm not going to pass to you either because I don't see you making a running behind.
But as a 10, it's your responsibility. You dictate what's going on. It's your job to play because I tell you what, Cal, yeah? If you get the ball, if you get the ball, right?
How can you keep on one person when the other person's not doing a job? Both have to do a job in order for the job to work.
But someone's got to take control. In everything in life, someone has to take control. And for me, the number 10 has to take control.
No. They just both take control. They're both adults on a football.
I agree with Drift.
Take control.
No, because it's not only the number 9. What about Gakpo and Salah either side?
Yes, thank you.
Why he doesn't make through balls or make
running behind?
Callum, all of Salah Gakpo assist to Gakpo is him running in behind. Can we stop this?
No,
that's
it's
not. Transition, though.
No, it's
yes.
It's Salah
not on the transition.
It's
all of them running in behind.
Crossing the ball to the far post.
Yeah, cross back.
Callum and Matt, because you guys are both making this point.
Hold on.
Have you met a bigger Nunes hater on this platform than me? No.
I said Nunes is the one that does it.
Okay, one second.
How often does he play?
I'm saying this as someone who would sell Nunes tomorrow happily and get rid of him in this club. No one can tell me that Nunes is the reason why Szoboszlai creates one big chance every 30 games, every 3 games. Now, of course, they're going to be safety blanket statement of like. Here's the thing. You guys are doing the safety blanket. I know he doesn't take enough risks, but blah, blah, blah. Forget the but. Let's address the first point first. He does not take enough risks.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah. That's
Statement
fair to
ends.
say.
For a number 10, he does not take enough risks. And that is the big deal. If you're
Yes,
talking about Jota and Nunes being bad boy strikers, no problem. Me and Drifty just made the same exact point. Okay, so why doesn't Szoboszlai find Salah in space? Why doesn't he find Gakpo in space? Why doesn't he find Diaz in space? Why doesn't he find any of these guys in space? I'm asking you all a simple question to end this. To end this, like I'm gonna mute my mic after this question. Honestly, hand on heart, if you have to put your house and your life on it right now, the position that Elliot had the ball in the Carabao Cup final. Do you not believe that Szoboszlai would just keep running with the ball instead of releasing it there?
Yeah, they're different players. I agree with that. Yeah,
Okay, so what are we arguing about then here? Can I understand?
No, the fact that everyone's making him out like he's a scrub. He's not a scrub.
But Chiesa made the run. Your argument is the run. Chiesa made the run.
No, Cal, from a creative point of view, Cal, he's a scrub.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to land. This is what I'm trying to land.
No, because you know what? I wanna touch on that point because Hassan's pushed on. Hassan's pushed on about this 9 big chances created. Let me ask all of you a question. Who've been some of those creative midfielders this season in the league? You're saying like Morgan Gibbs-White for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Palmer.
Bruno Fernandes even. Bruno probably.
Dominic Szoboszlai has more big chances created this season than Morgan Gibbs-White.
That doesn't surprise me because of the way Forest play. That's why I scuffed my eyes when you said Morgan Gibbs-White. I don't look at Morgan. By the way, I don't even rate Gibbs-White that highly to begin with. I think Gibbs-White is just another version of Jones. Like I'm being serious.
You know another thing we need to stop doing, guys. We need to stop giving bailouts to players like Szoboszlai by saying taking a risk. I'm gonna be honest with you. Doing what your job is not taking a risk. You know what taking a risk is? What Trent does, where he tries to do something magical out of nowhere that could backfire. That is taking a risk. Szoboszlai running through on goal and then knowing whether he should pass or he should have a shot. It's not a risk. It's what he's supposed to do. Can we stop babying him saying it's a risk? How is having a shot from 20 yards a risk? It's what he's fucking on the pitch to do. Like, seriously, what? It's not like I'm so we're not doing this. He's got to take more risks. No, he's got to do his job.
And Drifty, not how I keep the same energy. How much Nunes cost? 70 million. How much Szoboszlai cost? 70 million. Why are we babying the 70 million guy? Why? Why are we sat here giving excuses for someone who costs 70 million pounds in a release clause for him playing through balls? And Tom just did something, guys. This is why you should never listen to Tom and his shitty little stats. Because he brought up... No, 1 second. Don't count because I have to destroy Tom.
I want to know.
I'm going to mute my mic. I promise you I will mute my mic. I have to do this. I'm sorry. So he's talking about big chances created for a midfielder. These are the midfielders. These are... 1 second. Don't interrupt. These are the midfielders and number 10s who have more big chances created than Dominic Szoboszlai this season. Listen to the names. Cole Palmer, Declan Rice, Yuri Tielemans, Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne, even with all his injuries this season, Leif Davis from Ipswich, Enzo Fernandez, Bruno Guimaraes, Morgan Rogers, Mikkel Damsgaard. I'll keep going. Alex Iwobi, Leandro Trossard, Tyreek Mitchell. Tyreek Mitchell has more big chances created. Ouattara from Bournemouth, Semenyo. Adama Traore has more big chances created than Dominic Szoboszlai. Martin Odegaard, who missed a month and a half, has more big chances created than Mr. Szoboszlai. Joao Pedro has more big chances created than Szoboszlai. Shall I keep going?
Shall I tell you why this isn't proving your point? You said Declan Rice, yeah? Wherever his big chances created come from.
He takes corners.
Come on, man. Add context to it.
Okay, move Rice.
No, because Fernandes takes the set pieces as well. So Rice takes the set pieces. Fernandes takes the set pieces. Palmer takes the set pieces. Tielemans takes the set pieces. De Bruyne takes the set pieces. Leif Davis takes the set pieces. I'm pretty sure Bruno Guimaraes takes the set pieces.
Damsgaard takes the set pieces. I can't lie, Hassan. That's quite a lot of set pieces. I'll be real.
And the ones that don't take set pieces now.
I just debunk your whole list.
So the ones that don't take set pieces out of that list, I will give you
Morgan Rogers,
I'll give you Enzo Fernandez, and I will give you Iwobi, and I will give you Trossard. I said Morgan Rogers. And
if Palmer's not playing, Enzo Fernandez does take. I just remembered when Palmer's not there, Enzo Fernandez does take.
And have you seen how Palmer's numbers have dried up since Jackson came out?
I'm not a Palmer guy. I don't rate Palmer.
You know why? Because who's he passing to that runs in behind at Chelsea?
Palmer takes risks. Palmer takes risks. We have seen Palmer play through balls into Jackson multiple times.
You're missing the point again. Palmer's on a whole nother stratosphere to Szoboszlai as a 10. whole nother stratosphere. But my point still
He got
stands.
half his price.
We saw a drop off in Palmer's form the moment Nicholas Jackson got injured. Why? Because who's he passing the ball into behind? Sancho ain't doing it. Madueke ain't doing it. Neto ain't doing it. So therefore, no matter how great you are, if the main weapon you've got is taken away from you, it's going to lessen your impact on the game. So Szoboszlai, who's not the most creative, is going to look even worse when he doesn't have said tools in front of him to be able to execute the job that you guys want him to do.
But Cal, we have got good forwards.
Bro, you've missed my point.
Cal, the reason why your argument
because you just
is
compared
dead,
it to
all our forwards are better than Chelsea's
fucking
forwards. Literally.
Hold on, Matt.
He's
Tom,
not saying that. He never
where
said
did I
that.
say our forwards weren't good?
He never said
No, but
that,
you
bro.
said
They're
as
all
soon as
better than
Jackson
the
wasn't
Chelsea
there,
forwards, though. So why bring
you
up
said what? You said
You've
when
not
Jackson
listened-
wasn't there,
you've
it
not
meant
listened to
Palmer
word
didn't have
I've said.
anyone to pass to.
Cole Palmer
And then
does
you
not
gave
play
us
with
the
No,
list of
he's
their
trying to
forwards
say
who
they
were all
weren't
crap.
making the same. What he's trying to say is
No, I know what he's trying to say,
Jackson
but
is
we
the
do
one
have players
person
that
that
make
runs
sense,
in
man.
behind consistently. But all the other all the other forwards, like remember Sancho, we know don't run in behind. Neto doesn't really run in behind that much anymore. Madueke every now and again. What he's
But
saying
we
is
have got players who
Palmer
run in
had to-
behind.
No, but Jack, you know what? I can't believe I'm bigging up Nicholas Jackson here. 'Cause
Why
he's
is it?
shit
Why
at
are you not
finishing.
putting your head back and acting like what I'm saying? We don't have players who run in behind.
Nicholas Jackson is shit at finishing, but do you know what? His runs in behind are so smart. He's a smart footballer with his movements. He's just shit at finishing. Oh, if I look at my wingers, Gakpo, when he runs in behind, he only runs in behind when Salah gets the ball. Salah only runs in behind when there's a load of space there. So you'll only see Salah running behind when Konate's playing a pass or Trent's playing a pass or we've picked the ball up in transition. Their defensive line is so far up. When Szoboszlai is running forwards with the ball, Mohamed Salah is not sitting there off the left back going, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to dance in behind.
He's
I'm
going
to
to
show
show
for
wide
feet.
so he can
I'll
get the
show
ball
for
so he
feet.
can cut
I'll
in
show
and
for
shoot.
feet. Salah wants to show for feet and have Szoboszlai run in the gap he's just left to create
cross
space
the
for
ball
him.
in.
Salah's
So
not
all I
making the
do,
run,
so
so
if that's
Szoboszlai can
if that
create for
is
him.
the case, yeah, I'm not even saying you're wrong, Tom. But if that is the case, why can we conveniently find quick, easy examples of Jones and Elliott as an example, passing and doing through balls in
We've
our
named
team?
about
Szoboszlai
three
plays
seasons.
week in, week out,
50,
and we
named
can
about
find
50
examples
games
of
all
the others
season.
doing it.
named
50,
like about 4 or 5.
We've played 50 games all season, and I can name you 3.
Okay,
No, but
here's
the point is, why is Szoboszlai not even able to find that many if he's playing every single week?
and I'm so glad Tom brought up the set pieces. So you know what I just did? I opened new tab, create chances created from open play. Szoboszlai is not even in the top 25. Nice one though, guys. Anyway, any more
realize we're not
If
saying
anybody on
anything
this show say Szoboszlai's creative, anybody.
This is what I'm
just
saying,
trying-
like-
this is what I don't understand.
You guys keep
you
giving
guys are
yourself
hearing
a
one
safety
thing.
blanket for this argument.
No, but
Just
you're
stand
saying
on
you're
business.
hearing one thing and just saying he's crap. No one's sitting there saying Szoboszlai is this creative monster.
Okay,
not
is he
saying-
crap creatively? Just so we can end this. Is he crap
I know you're
creatively?
not saying he's a creative monster,
No,
but
how
you
many-
lot are
hold on,
making
how
a lot
many-
of excuses.
How
for
many
him.
times have I said I want another number 10? I want that to be Cherki for creativity. I've said
Okay,
that like 25
so
times.
what are you arguing for then? Can I understand what's
My
your argument?
is we're sitting there saying Szoboszlai is being misprofiled or he's not a 10. My argument is there are some games where Szoboszlai will be better suited for the 10 than another 10. And also, if he's giving better tools, such as a DM behind him, so he's not having to do as much legwork going the other way, and forwards who will run in behind the defenders, then maybe we get more out of him. So I want to see that before I just switch off and say he's crap
Okay.
as a 10.
Okay,
don't
can I
think
respond to that now so we don't respond to differing points? First of all, we have all agreed he's not good creatively. So that's one tick off the box. Second of all, when you come back and you say, I want to see him with a DM and I want to see him in a system, what I have used to debunk your argument, what I have used to come back and go like, okay, now let's talk, is the fact that Liverpool, 80%, 90% of the time, which me and Drifty spoke about when this whole debate started, are expected to beat teams. We are expected to beat our opposition. If you want to play Szoboszlai, Arsenal away and City away, City at home, Arsenal at home, no problem. You want to play him in the derby, no problem. But the reason why I don't think him having a DM will suddenly unlock this creative potential that we're talking about is because it's the same player that doesn't take risks, whether it's Ipswich at home, West Ham at home, Leicester away, wherever he is, he has a lack of risk taking, which has nothing to do with the DM behind him. Because so many times we have all sat here and watched Liverpool Football Club. So many times Salah will have the ball on the right wing, give it to Szoboszlai, and he's in a position, as Drifty said, just outside the penalty box, where any number 10 with any form of cojones would either shoot or create or do something important on the football pitch, which we have all agreed that Szoboszlai does not do. Therefore, this entire argument has been about essentially Callum and Matt saying, let's keep Szoboszlai so we can play him Arsenal away and City away. If that's your argument, then no one here would disagree.
No.
If you're telling me about a DM is going to unlock his creativity,
so much.
you want to know to have creativity what you need? Balls, risk-taking. And that's something you cannot teach, Callum. You cannot teach this.
You have to have
Can
stuff
Szoboszlai ever become Roy Costa? Can he become Recoba? Can he become Salah?
Who the fucking Rui Costa in this
He
day and
cannot
age?
become any of those players. He can't. Done.
All right, so
Guys.
do we agree Odegaard's creative, yeah?
No, I do not.
No, I don't even.
No, I
if
do
you
not.
ask Arsenal
Odegaard
fans,
is a
they say
pussy.
that they don't think he is.
Odegaard
creative.
is just as much as a pussy as Szoboszlai.
You see what I'm
is.
saying,
Are you
Matt?
mad?
Yeah?
Yeah. You can't
No,
blame-
Cal.
but-
Ask Arsenal fans. They say he's not creative either.
Cool. Who's he
Ask
creating
Arsenal
for?
fans.
Who's he creating for?
Who?
Who?
Odegaard.
Yeah, who's he creating for?
No, but why do we keep making excuses? You can create for
No
anybody.
excuses. I'm asking a question.
Put
Who is he
Zidane on the pitch, and he's not going to be like, "Oh, I ain't got no striker. I can't
Who
do
is he
anything."
who is he creating for? If it's such an excuse, why can't you answer the question and kill the argument? Who's he creating for?
Who are you
He's
asking
creating for
about?
anyone who's
I'm
playing in
asking
their
for
team.
everyone.
Martinelli, Saka, Trossard, whoever's playing in the team, he should be creating for.
He should be. Is he able to create for Saka, who's out for most of the season? No. So who's
Arsenal
playing
fans themselves have told me this season, Odegaard just ain't been it.
I'm
It ain't
not
got
saying
nothing to do
Odegaard
with
on the
anyone
club,
else.
Callum.
He just ain't been it.
Yeah, Arsenal fans have also said that Saka's better than Salah as well. So what are we doing there?
And anyway, forget about Arsenal. Are we missing the bigger picture here? Do you know what the real issue probably is out of all of this? Maybe Szoboszlai's just got dead IQ.
Maybe he doesn't want to take a risk, so his passing.
Maybe
accuracy
he
is
just
high on
has
the
dead
stat sheet.
IQ.
Have you ever
When we've
thought about that?
after an hour of arguing about Szoboszlai, I've just come to the realization maybe Szoboszlai doesn't have a football.
The problem with all this is, I have seen Dominic Szoboszlai in a Liverpool shirt be this perfect attacking midfielder that you all wanted when he first joined. So I know he's got it in him.
I
know he
mean, I
can
don't
do
know
it.
if I would say perfect. He was playing
Perfect?
well.
No person up until November last year. We played Luton away last year, and that was when the first people started moaning. But no person up until that point went, "Oh, Szoboszlai, he's not been great."
No, but
has he?"
Tom, it was powerful running and shooting. It wasn't creativity.
It was not
He's
creativity.
never been creative.
I'm on about the
Ever.
risk-taking side of it. People going on about risk. Different manager comes in, a manager who wants to play a completely different style of football, more controlled. Guess what? You take less risks.
He
I
scored
don't
more
know,
goals
Tom.
this season than he
Szoboszlai
did
was
last.
dead for 7 months last season.
Guess what, Hassam? He scored more goals this year because he's played as a 10.
So would you guys want Bruno
But
Fernandes?
he's
in
taken
the
more. He was in that first, under year.
I would swap Bruno
Dominic
Fernandes.
Szoboszlai was
for-
taking more
That
risks.
was my argument. Would you guys want Bruno Fernandes as your starting 10 for Liverpool Football Club?
I would take Bruno
I have a
over
personal
lot of
agenda against
players,
Bruno.
yeah.
I'd say no.
No, I'm
I
gonna be
hate
honest.
it.
He's a rat, and I can't stand him. But I
Yeah.
can't think of 5 to 10 number 10s that would be better than Bruno Fernandes.
With Bruno,
I
it's perfect.
genuinely can't.
But what's the
I
thing,
never say yes to
that
Bruno.
everyone says about Bruno? He spams and loses the ball too much.
No, that's what Man United fans say.
Not
I don't
just
think
Man-
rivals
you
have a
said
problem
it.
with that.
You said
So
it.
you're making excuses
Yeah.
for
Because
Szoboszlai,
my brother
but
always
Bruno
in
is
my ear
spamming it
talking
to
about
Hoyland
Haaland
and
and
Garnacho, and that's
ball
okay.
away.
Do you know what? Can I quick genuine question? Would you not take KDB?
No,
Yeah.
he's finished.
Yes,
bro.
I would.
Thank you, Hassam.
Are you still
Ask
banging
Drift.
that
Ask
drum,
Drift.
bro?
Ask Drift. Ask him.
He's
Ask him.
finished, man.
Ask
No, I
him.
wouldn't.
Ask
I
him.
would rather have Kevin De Bruyne play 19 games than Szoboszlai 38.
No
Ask him.
chance. No.
I tried to
way.
tell you. Do you know
Have
what Drift tried to
watched how
tell
much
me?
Man City struggle with
His
De Bruyne
version
in
of
the team?
KDB is still a better 10 than Szoboszlai. Why
Yes.
don't people...
But he's
Thank
got
you,
no
bro.
legs left.
Brother, I'm telling you from now, yeah? Again, stop thinking about the athleticism. You just said it yourself, IQ. Kevin De Bruyne has a high IQ, bro. You have to have a high IQ to play in the number 10. Drift, you
Yeah,
realize
well,
you...
Flacco's IQ
Drift,
didn't
you
go.
just
did it? But his
realized
legs
you made a...
did.
You just realized you made a great point, and now you're like, oh, because your point was this, and I agreed with you. Yep, you need a high IQ to play there.
But you need to have legs to go with the IQ. You can't be finished.
Drifty, trust me, take the L on this one.
KDB is a better 10 than Szoboszlai right now. I don't want to hear nothing, bro.
Maybe from a great point of view.
Hold on.
You do not make
KDB in our team.
Yes, you would, bro. You know you would.
Matt.
There
are certain teams on this planet. There are certain teams on this planet which don't sell their best players.
No. I'm not saying that. No. That's we know.
Matt. Did Flacco's IQ go?
Bro, Flacco couldn't move when he first came to Liverpool.
He was still smart. He still had it up here.
Drift. KDB's fall off.
KDB's
fall off is nowhere near as dramatic as Fabinho, bro.
It's worse because KDB's injuries can happen at any moment.
Bro, he played in a club system for 3 years and he looks 49. What are we doing here?
Bro, Kevin De Bruyne gets injured all the time now. His body can't do it anymore, bro.
Drifty.
KDB in the number 10 will cook better than Szoboszlai in the 10 right now. It's horrible to say because it's against our own player.
When we're playing against Everton's and Newcastle's where they're passing the ball around and we need legs? Then what happens then when you've got KDB?
You would obviously compensate. You would compensate in your... Bro, you know we're talking about KDB.
How can you compensate with Gravenberch and McAllister?
We are talking about KDB,
Gravenberch, McAllister and De Bruyne would get fucking destroyed. Are you crazy?
Bro, it's absolutely fine.
Crazy?
If you think Szoboszlai is a better 10 than KDB right now, I can't help you. That's the only
the way we play.
Kevin De Bruyne is finished physically, right? He's finished physically, no problem. We all agree. Kevin De Bruyne has made 22 Premier League appearances this season. Szoboszlai has made 30. Kevin De Bruyne, out of those 22 appearances, I would assume came on as a sub, probably 10 of them. Kevin De Bruyne is still, even with all of this, has more big chances created than Szoboszlai, has more chances created from open play than Szoboszlai, Thomas Little. And this is with him playing almost like what? I would say half the minutes. This is him with him regressed physically. Now, if we're talking about creativity and taking risks, I'm just saying.
No, but Hassan, you're proving my point. If they're using him sparingly at City, knowing his legs are gone, fair enough. So if you're telling me he comes to Liverpool and he comes off the bench with 20 minutes to go to try and win a game, we might be drawing
the game.
Losing.
Yeah,
That's not your point, Matt. Your point was you think he could play every week and be a better 10 than Szoboszlai.
Cal, you've got the best memory. Cal, you've got the best memory. A couple shows ago, I said, you say Cal's got the best. This is what I'm going to say. A couple shows ago, I said, would you take KDB in the free in the squad? Would you take him in the squad? You said no, he's finished.
Spoke about on Monday.
I don't understand.
When we spoke about on Monday,
thank you. Someone said
you'd bring him into the squad to come off the bench.
Thank you, bro.
Hold on. We put that
on Monday.
Look, few people are saying it now, bro.
I'm not talking about what Matt said on Monday. No, Matt said he would swap De Bruyne for Szoboszlai, meaning De Bruyne has to do all the minutes Szoboszlai does.
Drift, you know exactly what I meant. You're trying to be slick with it. I literally said
no. KDB, you choose your word better than you.
No. Listen and understand. It's listening to understand, bro. Do you know what I said?
I understand what
statement, but clearly you don't know, bro. Because this is what I'm going to say to you.
Swap means
everybody heard.
Here, that's what
everybody heard. My statement. My statement was KDB will be a better number 10 than Szoboszlai. He's just a better natural 10. It is that simple.
So what do you do for the other 70 minutes of the game when De Bruyne can't play?
So simple.
So what do you say for the other 70 minutes of the game that De Bruyne can't play?
Did I say sell Szoboszlai? Did I say sell Szoboszlai? Did I say get rid of him? We need to sell him. I literally said on Monday, you're bringing KDB in the squad. What my whole argument was tonight is that today is that KDB is still a better natural number 10 than Szoboszlai. It is so simple. I can't help you.
Can I give you two choices? Can I give you two choices? I'm going to give you two choices. Just multiple choice question. Just multiple choice question.
You've got a lot to get through.
Callum, it's just one question and then I'm not going to say anything else. It's genuinely just one sentence. It's one sentence, Callum. It's just one question. One question. Right now, we start whoever in the 10. Cherki, Jones, whoever you want. Drifty, I'm going to give you two choices. Szoboszlai plays as the number 10 for the entirety of next season, 38 games. Or Kevin De Bruyne just comes on in the half an hour of every game for the next 38 games in the Premier League. What do you choose?
Well, then the context needs to be for the other hour, Hassan, who plays 10.
Whoever it is, Jones, Elliott, anyone you want. But last 30 minutes, I'm getting KDB in the number 10. Would you take it? Ahead of Szoboszlai playing 90, 38 games.
No, I still don't think I would, no.
Fair.
Right,
I
let's
would.
move on. All right. Slot has spoken about Trent. So I'm going to read his quotes, and this is what he said today. Trent is coming back from injury and trained with us last week. He has shown his commitment, and he shows to me what a player he is when he is on the pitch and how much he works hard to be back with the team and the fans of Liverpool. Everyone who watches football knows he's an incredible fullback for this club. So let's see what the future brings. Trent is not ready to start, but if things go well today and tomorrow, he might be on the bench. First session with the team was Wednesday, so was not able to start, but let's see if he can join us. Would be nice if he is with us. Now, Slot said something there. We'll see what the future brings. That's kind of it's either one of two things. He's leaving it in the air, or he's basically saying, I'm not going to out my player to the media. We all assume that Trent's leaving, even though it's not been confirmed. Nothing's been confirmed. Would all of you like to see Trent play again for Liverpool this season? Yes or no?
No.
Why not?
Because he's a rat.
Based on?
Wanting to go Madrid.
Based on?
Wanting to go to Madrid.
With what facts?
Well, if what we've been hearing isn't true, then I will hold my hands up and say, rah, I believe the story. I shouldn't have.
But we're talking now, though. You just said he's a rat. You don't want him to play because he wants Madrid. Based on what?
Based on what we know, bro. That's a weird question.
No, it's not a weird question. What do we know?
We know that he hasn't signed. The other two have. We know that every rumor that comes out can't be wrong.
A week they've signed, by the way.
So are you telling me now that you don't think Trent wants to go Madrid? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised seeing him at Real Madrid given the rumors, but I still don't know what's going on because nothing's been confirmed.
Yeah, but we can say that about everything.
No. Shall I tell you why? Because everyone said Alphonso Davies was going to Real Madrid. He never went to Real Madrid, did he?
A totally different situation.
Not totally different. We all sat here.
It is.
Guys,
Alfonso's contract got sorted out ages ago.
No, stop. We did a members video about which players would sign on a free. We all sat there and said Alphonso Davies would be sick, but he's going Real Madrid. Did we or did we not say that?
That was in December, Cal. That was months ago. Alfonso's contract got sorted months ago.
He didn't get sorted.
It was like January or February when Alonso's contract got sorted. It's not April, that 7 or 8 games before the end of the season. He's not an honorary Scouser. He didn't come through the academy at Bayern Munich. He's not a youth team player. And I don't know what he's been saying, but why hasn't Trent said anything? Bro, there are so many differences.
He said he wasn't going to say anything.
There's so many differences in that scenario. So many differences.
Alphonso Davies signed his contract in February.
Yes, I've said ages ago. That's what I said. It's nearly May and Trent still hasn't signed his contract, bro.
Do you think that when we were talking this whole season with Salah and Van Dijk, that we just decided, you know what, we're not even going to talk to Trent? We've been talking to Trent the whole way through, but there's a reason those two have signed and he hasn't.
I believe Trent will leave, but I'm saying it's not official yet. So until it's official, this whole talk of he can't play again for the club and all that, for me, it's kind of redundant. Because
he can play again, I just don't want him to. I'd rather play Bradley.
So I'm saying, can we deal with the facts?
The facts are until he signs a contract, he's more out than in. Therefore, A, let's get Bradley playing so we can get him used to the team because he's the one we're probably going to need. And B, if the rumors are true, which are heavily true, and Cal, I know you're doing the devil's advocate. You know Trent's going Madrid. Why would we let him play another game for Liverpool?
So everything I've said here is not fact. That's what I'm saying. So everything I've said is a lie.
But Cal, you know that we might not have a confirmation, but there's way too much smoke for there to not be a fire.
Me and Matt a couple of weeks ago also said that we don't think Virgil and Salah is signing either.
That was just an opinion. There was no facts to back that up.
There is no
They said they wanted to stay.
Real Madrid got their mouth.
At least we had more tangible things to the scenario, i.e., Salah came out and said, I want to play for Liverpool. I want to be here. And Virgil came out and said, I want to be at Liverpool. When has Trent said anything?
Do you know, on a real, I think Trent's going, but a lot of people are gonna have to eat a lot of humble pie if he
They
stays.
won't, bro, because he's not staying. No one's gonna have
Alright,
to do anything.
Cool. No,
He's
no,
going.
fair enough. But a
He's
lot of
going.
people are gonna have to
And
eat.
I
humble
would
pie.
never not say, you know what, my bad if he stayed. Never. 100%. I've done it in the
Would
past.
be wrong
I'll
and
do it.
strong then.
Yeah, but some people are wrong and strong. I wouldn't be. I would definitely say, do you know what? But here's the crazy thing. There's still a part of me that believes that the only way he stays is he's changed his mind. It ain't because the rumors are wrong. It's because he's changed his mind. There's backlash. There's repercussions. There's a loads of things that might be playing in his mind now as to what it is. But I know for a fact, based on all the stuff, there cannot be that much smoke without a fire.
Let's say he does change his mind. Does it matter? Or are you that bothered?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as much as it doesn't matter, of course, because he's here now, innit? But I will still be like, right, you were going to bounce, yeah? All right, cool.
But then that means you would have felt the same way about Gerrard then.
At the time, I did. I just got over
Do you feel about it now, though?
But
Like, do you ever think to yourself, Gerrard could have left for
for
Chelsea. He was this close. And then he stayed.
Matt, you can't ask me to have that emotion until he signs because Gerrard did stay. Until he stays,
Yeah, but this is what I'm
you
talking
can't
about.
ask me to have an emotion or something.
No. But what I'm saying is, like, nothing. Like, again, I think he's going. Nothing's happened yet. But I will say this though: if he does stay, I don't think people can start using the narrative of, oh, well, he changed his mind. But the fact of the matter is, he stayed, just like how Gerrard stayed. But again, we have to wait and see if that happens because you can't have the different energy for Trent and then have different energy for Gerrard. It has to be the same. Do you get what I'm saying? That's if he stays, by the way.
I mean, two totally different situations. But yeah, I guess you have to keep the energy similar.
Remember, if he stays,
yeah, you have to keep the energy
We
similar.
can't do the whole,
that.
he only stayed because he changed his mind. It'll be like, no, it don't really matter because he stayed because we've done the same thing with Gerrard. Gerrard was this close. Rick Parrott car park settings. We know what happened. Rick Parrott come out and tell everybody that Gerrard stayed.
What I just said. I
So
said
we have to wait and see, man.
I will take back him being a rat if he stays because then the circumstance is different. But I still believe within myself that he would have changed his mind and it wasn't, I never wanted to go Madrid. Like, he can't come out and do something like what Virgil just did where he goes, it's always Liverpool. Because then I'd be like, fuck off. No, it wasn't always Liverpool. You've changed your mind. Big difference. And all he had to do to stop these rumors, this is the thing, all he had to do to stop these rumors was just say to us, even remotely anything about the situation. Remaining calm is basically a way of telling people what you think it is what it is. I just can't confirm it. That's basically what it's like. If your woman, if your missus comes to you right now and says, "Are you doing this? You're up to this. What are you doing?" and you just sit there and say nothing, you're feeding the narrative. You go, "No, babe, of course I'm not doing that." You reassure her. You say something. If you just sit there and don't say anything, you're confirming her mind what she thinks is right. So that's what Trent did with us as the fans. He didn't say anything, so he just let us believe what seems to be the more likely outcome.
What's happened is by not saying nothing.
Some of you lot in the chat are gonna make me. I'm gonna say this once and once only. Some of you lot in the chat are gonna make me crash out. If I do crash out on you, it's because you've said something stupid. So don't act like a bitch if it happens. That's number one. Number two, the narrative of Davies being Canadian and Trent being Scouse is completely lost in the analogy. My comment on Davies was everyone believed Davies was signing for Real Madrid. I don't care about semantics. The notion was Davies was definitely signed for Real Madrid. So when he didn't sign for Real Madrid, all of those things that the Madrid mouthpieces said was a lie. Yes or no? It's that simple, right? Did I mention anything about him coming through the academy or anything? Yes or no? Did it look like, or did we all think that Alphonso Davies was going to go to Real Madrid on a free? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not wrong in my analogy then?
No.
Okay, sweet.
I mean,
Speaking of not wrong, can I share something? Because I'm very petty. Can I bring something up, please? As you guys know, I'm an experienced YouTuber, so I know how to play this without copyright. Can I just bring up something, please? Because Drifty, even as the Nunes hater, sometimes me and you have to combine to make an overarching point to destroy a nonsensical point that the number 10 is the reason why the number 10 doesn't create.
We're not going back onto this.
No. Callum, I have evidence. I just want to share it to the people. Can you please share screen? Do me the honor of sharing the screen. And don't worry, I know how to play this without copyright infringement. Unlike Tom, I don't get the stream demonetized with C-bombs. So, Now, this is guys' prime example of when me and Drifty made this argument earlier on that you
You're gonna
cannot
show
use
one
the
way he doesn't
excuse
put Nunes through.
of
We've
the
seen
number
it.
10 as the reason
Yeah,
why
we
the
know
number 9 the number 9 is the reason why the number 10 is not creating. So obviously we all know this infamous counter attack against Southampton right here. Oh, look who makes the run. Oh, look who makes the run. He doesn't. Let me speak
Hold on,
and then I'm
fam,
going to
you-
mute.
You
Oh,
brought
look
this up.
who doesn't make the run, chat.
Do you want-
The one who
so
does
hold on,
not
what
make
is
the
the
run
point of
is the
bringing this
number
up?
9. That's the reason why the number 10 is not creative.
But what is the point? of
Watch
bringing this up?
how. Callum, can I just provide my commentary, please?
No, but what is
Because
the
I've
point of bringing it up though?
No. Let me speak, please. Let me speak. So now, this is Dominic Szoboszlai, the number 10, the most creative player in the team, according to what we grew up watching. That's the guy that can create. And now you watch this right here. Oh, look, he doesn't find Nunes. Oh, look what he keeps doing here. He keeps running with the ball. He keeps running with the ball right here. See? Even now, when he gets the ball here, Nunes is still onside and he can still find him.
Oh yeah, because that
is
reverse
why
pass is so easy.
This is guess what? Cherki can make that reverse pass.
Cherki's
the
fucking
level.
left-footed. Of course, that pass is
That's
easy.
No,
the
guys,
level.
Nothing
That's
but
the level of number 10 we're talking
nothing but
about.
love and disrespect.
I can't be asked. I can't be asked doing that. I
guys
cannot be asked doing
We
that.
can't go
There
back
have
to this
been
conversation
plenty-
again, man.
I can't even make a statement. Can I make
No,
a statement?
because you've just done 2 minutes.
Can I make a
Just the
statement?
key context.
Can I make a statement? Despite the fact that this is only one example, I am very petty. I can go back to every single game and make a compilation of opportunities that Szoboszlai have had like this, with either Salah, Gakpo, Diaz, Jota, Nunes, one of them making a run, and he does not have the balls or the nuts to make a 3 pass. By the way, McAllister would make the pass here. Elliott would make the pass here. Jones would make the pass here. Endo would make the pass here. We're talking about risk taking here. We're talking about actually having the guts and the courage to do something, which Szoboszlai does not have. I could go back to every single game and mention you an example just like this of Szoboszlai not finding someone who made the run in behind. And yet, you want to baby the 70 million pound number 10 we signed, and you want to give the excuse that, oh, he's playing with Nunes. That's the excuse.
Yeah. Hassam, I just have one question. That clip there, what minute is it in?
Say that again?
What minute is that passage you're playing?
87th minute.
We were 3-2 up at that point. There was no reason to. You just need to keep the ball.
I disagree with that, Tom. You still play.
I can be petty. I can be petty as well. I don't want my number 10 giving it away. Sam, I don't want me number 10 giving it away and then leading and then putting us back under pressure. Why I don't want that? Why are we even back on this point? By the way, we've spent an hour and a half on this.
No, I know. No, but do you know what it is? This is deflection. Big up Hassan, this is deflection. Do you know why?
The reason is we were 3-2 up. Can you imagine how much of an L you have to take to mention the time and the score? When I'm talking about
even though I agree with Hassan on the Szoboszlai stuff, I'm not gonna lie, bro. We finally put the fire out, and you just threw a match straight back.
No, but it's
one fire. We burned the house down. There ain't no fire. We burned it down, and we left with the treasure on our backs. We won.
No, but it's one example. We've all agreed with that. He should have played the passing. So I don't get why.
No, Tom says the score was 3-2, so it's okay.
No, but Tom's being petty there. But we all agreed when that happened in that game against Southampton. We all sat there and went.
How many examples this season you think I can show the same exact type of passage where a forward is making a run? He does
the same amount that I can show you where he's had.
So why are we making excuses then earlier on?
Not making excuses. I'm adding context to your statement.
Doesn't have runners.
It's context.
Let's get back to Trent,
guys. Let's not go back to the old conversation, man.
It's not wrong. It's just that you don't like it.
Carl, let's move on.
No, the context is wrong because Nunes made the run.
We got to move on. But
all right, so if Trent is back, do you want to see him play? Drift, you said no. Tom, you said no. Matt and Sam, what you say?
Yes, of course I want to see him play.
Can I say a non-hateful way? I'll give you a non-hateful reason.
I'm a cuck, but you're the one that don't want the 10 to make the pass.
You're sitting there wanting a lad who doesn't want to.
You're literally sitting on the hotel chair right now, and you're calling me a cuck.
You're sitting there wanting a lad who doesn't even want to be at the football club next season. Play? Why? Why the fuck do I want to do that? I've got no reason. I have nothing to play for. There's no reason for that man to touch the pitch for me again.
I want him to be on the parade bus as well.
To piggyback off of what Tom just said, I'll give you a non-hateful, he's a rat version. He's not going to be at the football club next year, so we should be planning already. As Tom just said, none of these games matter in terms of like pressure and all that. We're going to win the league. We've got 7 games to just get 2 wins. We're winning the league, right? So we need to now just think about what will next season look like? Bradley is a major part of that. I just want to see the guys play who will be here next season to get used to the system, to play, to get confidence, to get whatever it is. Trent playing is mute. There's no point in it. If a player who's not going to be here next year is playing in a game that isn't important, who cares? If we had 1 point ahead of Arsenal or 2 points ahead of Arsenal when every game was so crucial, I might change my tune and be like, look, the lesser of the two evils is I hate Trent, but he creates and he helps us win the game. Fuck it, play him. I might be in that frame of mind if we was only 1 or 2 points ahead of Arsenal. But the fact that it's wrapped up, he doesn't need to touch pitch ever again. He never needs to put the Liverpool shirt on ever again. And really and truthfully, it is what it is.
Conor Bradley is here next year. We're going to be playing a similar system. I want him to start getting more games so we can get used to the dynamics of how we're going to play. Because he hasn't necessarily started many games with the starting 11. So I want him to play with the players who are going to be starting next year so we can have a little bit of an advantage by the time we go into pre-season. I gain nothing by playing Trent. I'm not going to benefit next year if Trent plays his last games. There's nothing for me to gain. I'd rather play the people who are going to be here next year. It's why, in an ideal world, I wouldn't be playing fucking either left back. I wouldn't be playing either striker because they shouldn't be here next year.
I wouldn't go as far as
one of them.
I mean, the strikers don't really matter. We don't really play with a striker, but because you can play Diaz there. But I think it's different now. With the Trent situation, me personally, I know nothing has been confirmed, but I do think he's going. We know nothing's been confirmed. I think so. If that's the case, and I think he's going, you might as well just continue with Conor Bradley. Why take out Conor Bradley to bring in Trent to get his fitness up so then he can go play in the Club World Cup potentially, whatever he's going to do. If that's what he wants to do, you might as well just play Conor Bradley. Do you know what I'm saying? You might as well do that. There's no point. It doesn't benefit us in any way.
So are you on the don't play Trent boat?
Yeah, I would just play. I would just say, because not only that, this is one thing that Slot needs to stop doing. If a person is playing well, why are you going to take them out of the team? Conor Bradley hasn't done anything wrong for him to be taken. If Conor Bradley was stinking up the joint and I still knew Trent was going, I'd be like, do you know what? Just to see out these 2 games, we might have to just use Trent, Carl. We can't have that. But Conor Bradley's played well, so why not just play him? Simple as. What is the need to kind of like throw Trent in there, knowing that his future right now is far from clear, and not only that, it could cost us games. All jokes aside, he actually could. What if Trent has like some really, really bad performance because the pressure's getting to him, all that stuff? We ain't got time for that. Genuinely, not saying that we're going to lose the title, but we just, I don't want to see more.
I also think you're enabling bad behavior.
So, yeah.
That's another way I look at it. I think you're enabling bad
Hassan,
behavior.
what do you think, bro?
I would play him, show Madrid what they're getting. I think he's a fantastic player.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm not even...
What bad behavior?
I know how easy I could get
that you can lack loyalty and still get rewarded with game time.
I live rent-free in Tom's head.
All jokes aside, though.
Hold on, sorry, Matt. Slot said the exact opposite in his press conference, saying how well he's worked behind the scenes, how hard he works.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that Slot's lying, but he's never going to say anything bad about it.
I don't think Drift's called him a bad professional.
I'd start Bradley. Jokes aside, I would start Bradley. But the one thing I would say is I don't want to see Kwanzaa at right back.
Bad behavior.
The only reason why I say yes is every time Kwanzaa comes on to play like right back,
it's a problem, isn't it?
Like it genuinely just sucks out all the creativity out of this team. So Bradley is not fully fit yet. So whether we like it or not, maybe he can play like 65, 70 minutes, whatever it is. Those 70 minutes, when they pass by, I'd rather bring Trent on than bring Kwanzaa on. That's just my honest opinion. Like I'm just not trying to see Kwanzaa play right back.
You know what? I'm not mad at that, Hassan. I'm not mad at that.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
It's not just. I can't just based off of principle of Trent leaving, get Bradley to get an injury and play him 90 minutes. I cannot do this. So I'd rather just bring Trent on 15 minutes, whatever.
Yeah. I'm not an ignorant guy. I understand that point, but I just don't. You know what it is, and I think Tom's probably going to be the one who feels what I'm going to say more than anything here. He doesn't deserve to wear this shirt no more. Like I don't want to see him wear this shirt no more. Do you get what I mean? I know it's an extreme example, but imagine if you told your missus, "Boy, you know what? On the 1st of July, I'm a bounce." What, you think she's going to be like, "Oh, well, let's spend Christmas together"? She's, man, fuck off now.
No, Drifty.
You know what I'm saying?
Imagine telling your missus you're going to bounce.
What are you talking about?
Imagine telling your missus you're going to bounce on June 1st. But you want to be involved in the birthday party and everything just before that, and you want all the celebrations still, and you want to be involved in all that.
That's why I
And then you're
said
still just gonna
Christmas,
fuck
bro.
off.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
you want to spend all the money, all the time, all this, that, and the other,
watch this.
and then
Watch
you're gonna
this.
fuck off anyway.
You guys are right, but we've seen it before in families. Say you're gonna leave, and then you might say, for the kids' sake, well, like you still be there, rare tete, because we can't. That doesn't happen in real life. It does. So, to your analogy, you're correct, but we also can't act like.
Matt, how is Trent going to be here for the kids next
No,
year?
but Matt, if you're going to add the context to that will be, are you allowed to come around
like the birthday thing? Like the birthday
No,
thing.
but Matt, add the
You know what I'm
context because
saying?
Real Madrid is the other woman. So are you allowed to come around for Christmas when you've got a new woman? No, you're not, bro. No, you're not.
Okay, here's the thing. Even using you guys' analogy.
From seeing the kids. Even
using you guys' analogy with the
you're not allowed in her yard to come and play happy family.
Who are the kids? I don't know, fam. I'm just saying there's kids involved in it.
Thrifty, listen, even with your analogy,
I'm just trying to say there's two kind of sides to that kind of thing.
The example that I gave with just bringing on Trent for 15 minutes just to not see Kwanzaa there is like him coming at the end of the birthday party for 10 minutes, just saying hi, big up to everyone, and leaving. That's it.
Yeah, well, that still causes drama. The
moment Hassan, my first hand seen that cause drama. Yeah, bro, I've seen that.
Okay, Tom, so do you want Bradley injured? We all agree Bradley's going to be a part of the important
I agree. Bradley.
Yeah, we can't play Bradley 90 minutes. And every time Kwanzaa comes on to play right back, bro, it's like the entirety of the team just being
Let's put Jones at right back then, Hassan.
That doesn't help anyway.
Like, you know what though, Hassan? You know what though? I put Gomez at right back.
But that's the same injury risk as well.
Is he still injured though?
Sorry, one question
he's back by now. If Gomez isn't back by now, what the fuck's going on with him?
One question before we move on.
I don't think he's back, Tom.
If he does leave, which it looks like it will happen, do we not
Liverpool legend? Thank you for your service.
Do we still not have to credit him for his role this season?
I have seen Trent Alexander-Arnold play a significant role in Liverpool Football Club, winning 2 Premier League titles, a Champions League. Winning every single trophy there is, showing up for us when it matters.
Really gonna sit here and say
so many times. I am not gonna. Here's the thing. I grew up. Torres is a snake
100.
because Fernando Torres left for Chelsea Football Club. Felipe Coutinho left us mid-season and did not show up for training. And in the middle of us making a serious Champions League run, the guy left us. Okay. Michael Owen went to play for Manchester United. In my eyes, those are the snakes. Raheem Sterling went to play for Manchester City. I hated them at the time. I still hate him now for it. That, in my eye, is a snake. Luis Suarez, after 13-14, we all knew. We didn't win the league title. He's gone. He left. We don't have the hatred for Suarez like that. With Trent, I get it. Local boy, academy, all the type of stuff. But he's essentially just living his Beckham story right now. If he goes to Real Madrid, I'm not going to hate him for going to Real Madrid.
Real Madrid are a rival, Hassan.
They're not a rival. Real Madrid are not Liverpool's rival. I'm sorry. Hassan, we don't have to manufacture rivalries.
We were in the Champions League for 7 years out of the 9 that we had Klopp. And only Atletico Madrid were the only other team who knocked us out of the Champions League. 5 times, bro. They knocked us out of the Champions League.
That doesn't mean rivalry.
Do you think Porto see us as a rival?
Yeah, are we Porto's rival?
No, but I think both clubs have to have a certain level of a standard. No disrespect to Porto, but Porto were just a cannon fodder in the Champions League. I'm talking about
everyone's a European rival then.
Yeah.
No, a team who you constantly have battles with on a regular basis where they've not like I'm not gonna lie, we beat Real Madrid 5 times, they wouldn't be a rival. But they beat us 5 times, so they become a rival. They've stopped our success.
So if Trent goes to Barcelona, is it okay?
So is Divock Origi a rap for going to AC Milan then?
No, the club didn't even try to keep him. He couldn't do nothing about that.
But he still went to AC Milan. Are they not a European rival
but
then?
The club didn't try to keep him. You can't be a rat if the club won't keep you.
Callum, you're asking the wrong questions. If Trent goes to Barcelona, does it make it okay?
No.
I don't really care where he goes.
I'm not asked what the club he's doing.
There you go.
No. If he's run his contract down to leave for free,
where he goes, because Trent, just say where it is then. Because Trent's Scouse, you don't think he should be leaving the club?
Yes, fact.
All right, so just say that.
The whole time.
You know what?
Because he's going to a European rival.
You know what?
No, I said no. I was talking to Sam's point about saying these people went to rivals and like Real Madrid are a rival. So put that in that equation. They are a rival. Hassan just gave a whole list of went Chelsea, went City. Real Madrid are a rival. if you're a Liverpool fan and don't believe Real Madrid are our European rival, I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I don't think Real Madrid are European rivals. I don't.
I don't
5
have.
times, Sam, they stopped us winning the Champions League, twice in a final.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it a rivalry.
It is not the
So
rivalry
what makes
point.
a rivalry then?
It's not the rivalry point.
I don't even think
we're
there
not
are
a
many
rival.
European
Someone
rivalries
just
like
sent me a
again.
DM. Yeah, they just said there's like a link to it. Trent called Real Madrid one of our biggest rivals just 4 months ago. This was in March, yeah. And then the person said, so in his mind, he is joining one of our rivals.
I mean, yeah.
Apparently,
On
Trent
that
sees
basis.
Real Madrid as a
On that basis,
rival.
There you
that
go.
doesn't
One
work.
of, one of our biggest rivals.
I
is on
might
4
not
months
see them
ago.
as a rival, but if he does, that's in his mind. He's made
There
that
you
conscious
go.
decision.
Yeah. If he sees it as a rival, then yeah.
I think there has to be a distinction made. I'm not part of the group that says Scousers can never leave.
Big
the
up
football
Ali for
club.
sending me that, bro.
If a Scouser wants to leave the football club, I don't necessarily. I don't have a problem with anyone wanting to leave the football club. But it's about doing it the right way.
What's
About
the right way?
handling it correctly.
What's the right way?
Not right. So, do you need me to break down the whole Trent thing again? Because I don't want to.
No, genuinely, I want to know.
No,
because
just tell me what the right way to leave is.
What
I'm
is
very
the right
interested.
Leave for a fee.
Oh my
Until the club
god!
get money for you.
if he left for a fee in the summer, everyone would have still said the same thing.
It wouldn't have been the same way, Cal.
It would have been
the
the
same way.
same.
No,
Tom.
everyone's
was-
still
Cal,
kind of
Cal, it wouldn't have been
No,
the same way.
I'll tell you why it'd have been
It
even
wouldn't
worse
have
if
been
he
the
left in
same
the
way.
summer. Because do you know what they said? If he left last summer, so
Mm.
the moment Klopp goes, he's left as well. He doesn't love the club. He only loved Klopp. But the narrative would change no matter what.
No,
Because
that's
Trent is-
true. I agree with that.
Look, I
100%.
understand. I understand why people are annoyed. By the way, just because I don't share the same opinion, I understand it. Trent was our star boy, innit? He still is our star boy. Came through the academy, achieved everything that we as Liverpool fans all dream about. But my thing is, just say you're upset or you dislike him because he's leaving. Just call it straight. Don't think of an excuse to say it's because he ain't said nothing. It's because he's leaving on a free. Because no matter when he left, from the moment he broke into the team to now, everyone would still call him a mistake and still be annoyed about it.
Agreed.
Has Sam just called Coutinho a snake and we got 142 mil through?
Yes,
He is
because
the same.
because Coutinho was faking injuries and handing in transfer requests.
Torres is a snake. He wasn't faking injuries. He went for 15
Thank
million.
you. You got 50 mil for Torres at the time.
Michael Owen is a
There's no
snake. He
right
didn't even
way
make a
to
direct
leave
Fernando Torres handed in a transfer request.
Bro, yeah, he did actually. That is kind
No,
of
no,
true,
but
he did.
guys, all we're doing is adding nuance. Cal, you're
Luis
not wrong.
Suarez bit someone to
I've
force a
admitted
remove.
that him leaving is what my issue is. I've
Sorry,
admitted that.
AJM,
Torres
I'm not
was
telling
right,
people how to
come on.
react. I'm saying to tell the truth
That was
about
the
why
other
you're upset he's leaving.
Bro, I've
Just-
always told the truth. If you don't want to play for Liverpool anymore, you're a rat. But I'm adding extra context to the situation when I say, like what Tom just said, you left without a fee. That makes it worse. You're a Scouser. That makes it worse. You're going to play for a European rival. That makes it worse. We're just adding all the layers on top of why the hate is there, bro. I've always admitted, though, if you're a Liverpool player and you want to leave Liverpool and you are deliberately forcing your way out the club, then fuck you. Simple.
All I'm
It
saying
don't matter
is-
who you are.
There's no best way to leave a club. You're always going to be annoyed.
100%.
But there are
There's
better
no,
ways, though,
there's no
Matt.
perfect.
There are
You're still going to
better
be
ways.
pissed off, bro. Even if Trent left,
I-
in
No,
the
no, no,
summer,
but Matt, there are better
I don't
ways.
you're
think-
still going to be.
I don't
what you
think
just
anyone
said,
has an issue.
I will be
I don't think
annoyed.
anyone has
What-
an issue with the way Sadio Mane left his football club.
Well,
And
That's
anyone
what-
has
that's-
an issue
that's
with
how
the way
it
he
has
left
to
his
be.
football
no,
club.
wait. Based on
So
what
wait,
you just
so
said-
hold on.
Wait, based on what you just said, Drift, he doesn't want to play for the club. He wants to move. So is it FU Mane as well?
He
then?
said it before a Champions League final as well.
No.
He did actually.
No, he's one of your favourites, so you're not going to say
No,
yes.
no, of course. But I tell you why it's different. We all know he couldn't get the money he deserved. Matt,
No,
back
we
me on this
don't know
because
that. We don't know that. Where is this
Forget it, man,
coming from? We
forget it.
don't know that.
Forget it. He was gonna get paid what he's worth. Forget it.
Based on what? Didn't
All I'm
Virgin
gonna say
Forget
is,
it. Forget
all right,
it. Forget
this
it.
is what I'm gonna say. I do think Liverpool weren't gonna pay Mane and Salah at the same. That's just me personally. I don't
Thank
think
you.
that was gonna happen.
Thank
I
God
don't
He
we
was
think
made
that's
that.
underappreciated, and he wasn't
I
gonna
don't think
get
that
what he
there's
was
no
worth.
because remember that summer Salah got how much did he get that summer Salah?
350.
There's no way in hell they're giving that to Mane. They're just not.
I
In
don't
my
even
opinion.
think they would give Mane
Mane can't
250.
demand 350 because he
No,
doesn't.
but
do as
no,
much
but I
as
just don't
Salah
think
did.
he was gonna get a contract that maybe that.
Say that
maybe what
again,
he-
Cal.
that he
Mane
deserved.
doesn't do as much as Salah.
However,
From an overall perspective, he doesn't bring in as much money to the club,
Yeah.
and he wasn't getting the numbers that Salah was getting. I think we can all agree that.
His importance to the team was exactly the same as Salah's.
No, it was
Exactly the
less-
same.
it was
No,
less
it
than
wasn't.
But one thing I will say though is this though, even though whether he felt like he was going to get paid or not, one thing I didn't like about it is that we knew just before the Champions League final that he was leaving. You shouldn't do that though. Just
Mane
before
did
the-
way
No,
much
Mane
stuff
went
than
out of his
Trent
way
did.
to say, "Stop talking about it. We'll talk afterwards."
bruv, the news was
No,
This is the
Mane
problem.
went out of his way to say,
Drift.
"Talk
Listen,
about it
Drift,
afterwards."
I agree with the money thing,
Isn't that the
but
same-
one
isn't
thing
that
I
the
don't
same as-
like
isn't
is
that the same
stories
as
breaking
saying
just
obviously
before
out
a
in public?
Champions League final.
Is
Man,
Mane
but
saying
He
I'm not gonna
can't
try
help
to say-
other people putting the news out there, but he
But
said,
neither,
"Don't
all right, but
talk
then
about
neither,
it."
but neither can Trent from Madrid. If Madrid want, see what happened yesterday. Oh, but you know when Madrid,
Matt
when
Trent
Madrid got
had all
beat.
season, bro.
Let me just quickly,
What
just
are
quickly,
we
just quickly.
doing here?
Bro, when Arsenal punched up Real Madrid, do you know what happened the next day? Trent to Real Madrid is done, and Jurgen Klopp is considering going Real Madrid. I'm not even joking.
But bro, he's been talking about
This
it
is
all
what they
season.
do. This is what
He's
Madrid
been
do.
talking about it.
They
all
control the media.
Forget it. Forget it.
Let's
It's fine.
move on. Final topic before we do supers and move on because we should have been finished ages ago. Nico Williams has been linked with a move to Liverpool this summer.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Jay and Matt spoke about this last night on Jamie's show. Big up Jamie. His release clause is about 50 million, and he's currently on what is it like 180, Matt? 180k a week or something like
Yeah, I
that.
think Nico Williams on close to 200 grand a week. Yeah.
If
I heard it was
Diaz,
250, isn't it?
no, it's
I-
180.
I had closer to 250 with bonuses.
No,
was what I
maybe with bonuses, but we just work off the flat fees, innit? Is there an argument to say that if Diaz does go in the summer, he should be the one we target?
I mean,
I think you're just doing like for like.
he's
if you
better
do
than
that.
him, but he's
I just
about,
think you're
he's
doing
about the same.
like I think
The
the
thing
numbers are very
is,
similar.
the thing is, Diaz is the most replaceable profile of player because he's just the archetypal winger. I said it yesterday in the comments of your show. I'd have a lot more room of give.
Did
with
he put
Diaz.
it up or did he ask?
No,
you to send us-
Jamie's a good man. He's not someone.
Oh
who-
yeah,
who
Jamie.
likes
Yeah,
to
Jamie
be
was
active like that.
Big up Jamie.
But
You saying I don't read the comments, Tom? Hold on a
No,
minute,
no,
Tom.
it
You
was
was in the
about
show and I brought up your
It
comments.
was about
Wow.
Cal. I'm not about you, Matt.
This was a shot at Cal, not at you,
You
bro.
and Drifty.
Oh,
are
I
good.
was gonna say,
You and Drifty are
raw.
good. It was about Cal.
Hold on, Matt, you're not gonna back me here now.
I mean, I'm just trying to defend my corner, Cal.
Wow.
Everyone's got to fight for themselves.
He's leaving you. He's throwing you to the walls of
This is-
reception.
Listen, big up Drifty and Matt. Whenever they see Don or Sam in the chat, they shout me out.
Yeah, whenever you see
Tell
me,
him I've got to
comment on
spend
the
in doll-
screen.
I've got to spend in 1 dinar 99 cents to get his.
Cal, you
get
got to
me.
get some shoulder roll.
Sam, do you get it in the Cal show as well? Where he looks at it, sees the comment, and goes, "Oh,
Yeah, he pretends he didn't see. This is what he does. He's like,
oh."
and then he just carries on. Like he fully sees my
Mm.
name and just no.
Nah,
That's
he
what he
does.
does.
To be fair, he does. He does. To be fair, whenever he does bring it. I mean, it's more time me, but he does.
Yeah,
But I
Great, yeah.
said yesterday, Diaz, if he was 24, I'd have a lot more room on him. But the fact that he's nearly 29, this is the player. This is in
No,
my
Tom,
opinion,
he's
not good
27,
enough.
bro. You can't just be
He's
throwing
nearly
away his age.
29.
bro.
He'll be 29 next season. I'm not having that's
No,
all.
no, bro. He's
See
not
you next year,
28
29.
until next season, bro. He's 27, bro.
He's
No,
28.
Diaz is 28. You know, innit?
He's 28. He turned 28 in January.
28, bro.
He turns 29 next year.
Oh, I thought it was next January. He was 28. So my
No,
bad.
he's 28 now. This is the
What?
thing.
Time flies. Flipping
He's
Well, I mean,
29.
January was only 2 months ago. Shit, like we're
Yeah,
still
but-
throwing
but-
away a year of his
but
life.
50, that's half a season. For half a season, I've got a 29-year-old bit. But even now, 28. This is it for him as a footballer. Diaz is
Should
not
be
going to
big.
change as a footballer. This, for me, at 29, is not good enough. If this was a 24-year-old, if Diaz was 24, if Diaz was Gakpo's age, we'd be sitting there going, we need a bit more from him. We need him to develop in these areas.
Gakpo 26 now, innit? 26.
I thought he was 25.
No, Gakpo 26. I'm
Is he
almost
26? So Gakpo's like at
26.
the very end
I
of
think
it.
Gakpo turned 26 this year.
He's
Yeah,
26.
Gakpo turns 26 in a month. So
Oh, okay, there you go.
So the thing, like Gakpo's right at the end of it. Like Szoboszlai's 23. If Diaz was Szoboszlai's age, look at how we talk about Szoboszlai. He needs to do this. He needs to improve on this. It's a good thing you're not here, Jamie. He needs to improve on this. He needs to improve on that.
Same
He needs to do
here,
this.
big
He needs to do
up,
that. But you're sitting there going, he's
I hope
23.
your daughter is
He's got
safe,
time.
Jamie.
He's got time to develop. He's got time to figure it out. Diaz hasn't got that. This is Diaz. And for me, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for anyone else, but for me, this is not good enough. I think you can improve on this. If this is the prime
Big up,
version,
Tom,
I
because
think
we
it'll
have
be
our own
Right,
K-Mac on
Tom,
the show.
I don't
He
want
doesn't
to
give
go on
any
a long,
correct
I don't want to go
statistic.
into a long talk
Big up
about
you.
this, Tom. But when you say improve on it, let's just do it on a basic level because let's not do the eye test thing. We
So
all
that's
have different
scraps in the
opinions
chat.
on eye test. He's got
Mhm.
21 goals and assists this season.
Yep.
How much better is an improvement in your opinion? Like, how much of a better improvement is 21 GA for a winger?
It depends on if you want to look at it in the immediate or across. Because I'm looking at it going, I get a 23 to 24-year-old in, and they get 15 GA next season. Gakpo play starts more often, and this guy comes in, he gets 15 GA, and it's worse than Diaz initially, but he develops. So within the year after that, we're getting 20. The year after that, we're getting 25. My problem is Diaz is not going to suddenly improve his game to get more than this. This is Diaz's game. This is how he is as a footballer. And
I mean, Ollie Watkins might be an outlier, but Ollie Watkins is getting better with
Ollie
age.
Watkins is shit. I hate Ollie Watkins.
No, bro, he's getting better with age, though. His numbers are increasing every single season.
Ollie Watkins is crap. Ollie Watkins.
No, bro. Forget whether you like him or not. I'm talking about every time as he gets older, bro, his numbers are getting better. So I'm just saying it isn't always as simple as you won't get better because you're getting older.
I'll say this. Yesterday, that Lyon game, I watched Malik Fofana come off the bench. Now, this was the first time I watched him, and I'm not going to say, I want Malik Fofana now. But I watched him destroy United down that side. He was the biggest threat of that game. And I'm sitting there going, if that's him now, if you were to get someone like that, but give them the 2 to 3 years of development, what are they going to be like at 26, 27? Still younger than Diaz, by the way, at this point. They'd still be younger than Diaz at that point. But what would they be like with 4 years of development? I have sympathy for Diaz because the injury that he got in 22, 23 fucked him. He was ready to take that jump, and he got injured, and he was fucked, and he's not been the same since. And I do think you would have been getting a Diaz that would be hitting, ridiculous numbers because he was starting to click. But that it happened. It is what it is. Right now, I've got a winger who is going to be 29 next year, who has had his first best year at 29. Like, I think I can improve on that. I think I can. And I want to, especially with the contract situation. I'm not giving him a new deal.
So
I'm not giving him a new deal.
Let me go around the circle, get one word answer. Nico Williams comes in to replace Diaz going out, Drift. Yes or no?
No.
Matt?
Ask me last. I'm thinking.
Tom?
I don't. Not my number one target, but yeah.
Sam?
Nope.
Matt's back round to you now, bro.
We want your answer as well, bro.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Oh, if he
right now, listen. You're saying right now, yeah? Right now.
Yeah. Yes, man. Stop trying to buy time, bro. We need your answer. Right now.
Because I think he's got really good potential, but he's kind of stagnated, though. I'm going to say no, because he's kind of stagnated a bit. He can still be better than Diaz, but he's kind of stagnated. I know you say one word outside.
Let me see what your thought process is at, you guys. Barcola Drift, yes or no?
But why can't you answer the Nico question first?
I answered it.
What did you say?
Say yes or no, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, you would?
You said yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my guy.
In fact,
I promise you, Callum Sanderson and Tom Little cannot name 4 players at Bilbao. I promise you. They don't even watch
Williams, Nico Williams, Oyhan Sunset.
That's cheating. Don't say the brother.
Why are you saying it? We know you're the FM guy. Go ahead, Callum. Say them.
No, regardless whether I say it or not. Can I ask Barcola? Yes or no? Drew?
Yes, that one. Yes, 100%.
No.
Yes, 100%.
Matt Barcola.
He's quality, but yeah.
Barcola's better than Diaz now. So when he's 27,
I don't know because
he's not better than Diaz. I don't see the point in changing for a player who's not an actual guaranteed upgrade.
In what way is he not better than? In what way is Diaz better than Barcola? Would you say?
I think their games are very similar, and I don't think Barcola would get 21 GA.
I think Barcola might be on 21 GAs, right?
Yeah, but that's playing for the best team in France.
Barcola's got 18 goals in all competitions and 16 assists in all competitions.
But that's in I bet a lot of those are
Very
heavily in the French league, though.
Champions
Yeah,
League.
100%. He got 13. He's got 13.
Yeah, a lot of them are heavily in. I don't know if he'll be able to.
But he's
find
got
that.
23 G8 in the league.
By the way,
He's
I'm
got
not
20
saying Bakolo's a bad player. I'm just saying I wouldn't swap him for Diaz.
yeah.
But Drift, all,
As
all
soon
of-
as you say
all
no
of
to
Diaz's
something,
stuff is
people
weighted in the
think,
Premier
like-
League. Like Diaz is everything of Diaz is weighted in the
I'd
Premier
rather.
League.
Is it? What's his name? I think I prefer.
They're not
Doué,
gonna.
you know.
I'd love Doué, but
Doué is not for sale, mate.
You know,
No,
man, you know what
I
was
know.
just
I'm just saying.
I was
I
just gonna
prefer
say-
the player, though. I
I,
prefer
I
the
was
player.
just going to say, to make it easier for Karen, instead of asking me different players, I actually think Doué is the only one I would take the risk on because I think potentially, like Tom said, he's going to be a monster.
We're not
So I'll be
covered.
like, you know what? Do it now. But everyone else isn't available who I would swap for Diaz.
Oh,
So the only other people, Dembele, I would swap for him. Kvaratskhelia, maybe I would swap for him.
Maybe.
I'm not going to lie. I think Kvaratskhelia's end product is a little bit, but
but
I think
Diaz-
Kvaratskhelia is
what
better
about
than
Diaz
Diaz
here?
and Gakpo put together.
no, but this is the point. I'm saying if I'm gonna sell him and swap, then I want it to be more of a guarantee than a maybe.
Rafael Leao,
about
yes or no?
guarantees you can
No, I
get.
wouldn't swap Diaz for Leao. I
Swap
wouldn't.
Diaz for Leao.
I wouldn't. No, I'm only swapping Diaz for somebody who I feel is a
I would,
guarantee.
you know. I actually would.
I
think
would swap Diaz for Leao.
I would for Leao, you know, because
I know I'm
If
one
you
of
can
only a
get-
few people who
If you
rate
can get
Diaz,
Leao
that's
to
fine.
buy into what you're doing,
No, I
that's the
don't
most
think you're
exciting
one of
left
few
winger on the
people that
planet.
rate Diaz. I think you overrate Diaz. I rate Diaz. Matt rates
No,
Diaz.
I don't think
I
our
think
fan
Diaz
base
is
rate Diaz.
I don't
really
rate
don't.
Diaz.
I
Drifty,
was
you
saying
can
the
go
other
with me,
day
I don't
we
rate
should
Diaz.
have.
I think he's shit.
No,
I
with
barely
Diaz.
ever hear anybody say anything positive about Diaz. I
Bro,
don't
Diaz
think our
is a
fan
good
base
player.
rates
He's
Diaz.
not someone that we should be looking at to throw out of Liverpool. I think you only sell Diaz if you get a really good offer. But he shouldn't be on the same like thing as, like, say, for example, I don't know,
Nunes and Jota.
a Robertson or a Darwin, where we look at them and go, they have to be replaced. Remember, we can
you
win
get
the
rid of
league.
Diaz if you get a good
Yeah.
offer or if the perfect player becomes available. So if a left
The
winger
reason why I
becomes
keep saying
available,
about Diaz is because I actually think he's gonna ask to leave.
plus Diaz
That's a
is the
different
one that
scenario.
needs a
though.
contract.
You're right, Sam. That's a different scenario. though.
Diaz is the one that's contracts up in 2 years, and
So-
if
No, I
all the
know.
stuff is right
Yes.
about his wage,
All right,
the man's going
But
to
we
want the
shouldn't be-
biggest fucking pay
Yeah, but we
upgrade.
shouldn't
I'm
be
not doing that.
actively looking.
So that's the question I want to ask you all. Drift, I'll start with you. Would you give Diaz a new contract?
No.
Yeah.
Matt, would you?
I'm not even trying to do the delay thing. There's actually been a report about Diaz about 2 hours ago from Football Insider, and they've literally just gone, Liverpool are set to hold showdown talks with Luis Diaz about his long-term future. Speaking blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Because regarding there's interest from Barcelona and the Saudi League, and I believe, hold on, the rest of all right, so it's going to be showdown talks then, and I think Liverpool will make a decision this summer going off. Or
He's got 2 years left. It will basically be give him a new deal or sell him, isn't it?
That's because I'm just reading. It's from Pete O'Rourke.
Let me just get an idea of where you lot are. before
So
we
I'm
wrap
listening,
up.
Kat. I just wanted to quickly read the rest of the article. quickly.
I just want to get an idea of where you lot all are before we wrap up on this Diaz team. Is there a left winger in the league better than Diaz?
Hassan, what are you watching there?
Well, I think Gakpo is.
Vel just sent
Oh,
me
we've
something.
obviously got him.
Not,
Honestly,
is there a better non-Liverpool winger then? Because I agree. I think Gakpo's the only one who kind of.
I
I
think Gordon. I think it's on the same level.
That
as
was
Gordon.
Diaz when he first
Gordon's
joined. Diaz when he
younger.
first joined. There's difference.
I think him and Gordon are the same level, but Gordon's younger. But what I will say to that as well, Drift, is the standard of left wingers in the Premier League isn't great.
No, but the point I'm making is, how can we have in my opinion, the best left winger in the league, but everybody's just like, get rid of him?
Because our only thing isn't just having the best person in the league, it's having the best person in Europe. Hence why we wanted the Manes.
I mean,
we had
I understand that sentiment,
Virgil.
but
We never sit there and go, Virgil's the best in the Premier League. We go, Virgil's the best in the world. We go, Salah's the best in the world. When Mane was here, we would like Mane or Neymar's the best in the
no,
world.
I hear you.
We're not putting Luis Diaz in conversations.
Premier League for 90% of the time, so technically, it's still very important. He's the best winger in the league.
But Drift. How many other wingers do we buy from these other clubs and they come in and they're automatically in the same conversation as this? So, like, if I bought Rafael Leao for the same price that I sell Luis Diaz, Leao comes in as the best left winger in the league. It's not a case
Yeah,
of he
this is
comes
true.
in and then
No, I know,
Gordon's
no,
above him and this,
but
that, and the other.
he's not an upgrade in my
Barcola
opinion.
would be the best left winger in the league as well.
Leao's an upgrade. Leao, if you can get his head on right, he's the biggest upgrade you can make. Leao is.
I think the best name
so
out of everyone Callum
It's
mentioned
too much
is
of an
actually
if, Tom.
Barcola.
That's the problem.
Barcola is the best name out
Leao's
of
too
everyone
much
Callum
of a-
mentioned. By the
If
way. Just so you
Barcola
guys-
is available in the
Barcola.
summer, we need to be.
Barcola is literally the best one out of anyone Callum mentioned.
If
By far.
literally,
Barcola, yeah.
if he's available, Barcola, we have to go all in for Barcola.
I don't think he will
Barcola,
be
18
available,
goals,
though.
16 assists this season. This all comps. I'm doing all comps. Diaz has got 15 and 8 this season.
Barcola is clear.
I don't think Barcola is available though, so there's no point thinking.
No, he's rejected.
Barcola's actually played more minutes, actually,
He's
just by a little
rejected
bit.
the
But he played more
contract
minutes.
PSG,
I
and
actually wanted
there's
Barcola
talk
when he was
that
at
he's been
Lyon.
turned.
Like for me, the two leagues that I watch other than the Premier League, just because they're on BN Sports, so sometimes I just have the TV on and they're on the background, is the French league because there's a Jordanian player there as well, and there's La Liga. I watch every now and then. I know
I'm
the
not-
couple of.
I'm not gonna
ballers.
lie. I question Barcola's IQ. I know he's got fantastic skills and all that, but
And you don't question Diaz's.
I mean, to a degree, a little bit, but Diaz is already here and proven. Whereas with Barcola, it's that risk of what if he doesn't do it.
But Barcola's got like 5 years on him to improve.
No, but
on.
bro, it can't always be age, bro. Like there's
It
so
is
many
though with
young
this
players.
football
It
club.
doesn't age. Doesn't
It is
it's
though
like-
with this
What
football club.
Barcola's IQ do you doubt?
because when I watch PSG, which is quite often, I'll be like, go on and pass it, and then he won't. You're like, bro, why didn't you just when a
Diaz
player
does
just
that-
like.
Diaz does that every game, Drew.
Lad, if that's the bar
But
for IQ,
Diaz is
Diaz makes
already
you want to put me
here.
into the
This is
fucking
the
telly
point.
watching him at
There's
times.
no point in going and getting another player that might not settle, might not work, might cost you more money if it's not a guaranteed upgrade. That's the point I'm making.
No, but that's one aspect of the game. So if you're saying their IQs are on the same level, Barcola's
No,
a
I
far
actually
better-
think Diaz is probably just a little bit better than Barcola. I know he's younger, and obviously that means he's got time to develop it. But I'm looking at the way.
Barcola's probably quicker.
Plus, I don't think Barcola would help out in terms of that the overall team structure as much. I think it's very underrated what Diaz does off the ball, his work rate, and all that stuff. Like, is Barcola going to do that? And those things are important. I know people don't want to act like they are, but those things are important.
I mean, we've got Gakpo to do that. I'm pretty sure Barcola would do it.
Gakpo
Can I
doesn't
tell
do
you
that.
something
That's
just
Gakpo's
honestly?
weak point.
Gakpo does. Gakpo gets back there the whole every time.
Nah,
Gakpo's
bro,
got more.
Gakpo doesn't
It-
help
right,
defensively.
let me go
Tom. He
find it,
doesn't,
because I
man.
had to
love
do this
Gakpo,
before.
but he does
Hey,
I
help.
do
listen,
this
forget all the numbers. Here's the thing. I'll tell you how I honestly logically look at this, Drifty. I think Salah is the only one in the front five that's not upgradable on. The other five, we can upgrade on every single one of them. Now, levels of upgrade and stuff like that may vary. So, of course, it's more difficult to upgrade on Diaz and Jota than it is to upgrade on Nunez. It's more difficult to upgrade on Gakpo than it is to upgrade on Chiesa, as an example. We know that, but they're all still upgradable on. Now, the reason why age matters, I'm not even talking about potential or any of that. I'm just being completely objective here. If someone is similar to someone but 5 years younger, I can coach him to become better. Meaning, if Barcola and Diaz are at similar levels while one guy is 28 and the other one is 23, then logic does say probably when Barcola is 28, he's going to be a lot better than Diaz is at 28 because they're similar now, even with all the
lot of
experience.
assumptions there, bro. A lot of assumptions. I hear your logic, but it's still an assumption, though.
It's not
Yeah,
hard.
you're
because
right. It is an assumption.
If I'm buying a player at
educated
23, if I'm buying a player at 23 who I think is at a similar level skill-wise and ability-wise to Diaz, I'm quite happy to take the gamble that at 27 they live improved. Because if
Yeah,
not,
he's going to be better. Yeah.
if
No,
not,
I hear the logic.
4 years
I
later, I've
understand
spent
it.
money on the player that's about as good as the player that I had 4 years beforehand. Like you might see Diaz different. I just don't see Diaz as this great left winger which stands out amongst Europe as one of these best. He pisses me off to no end because he's 29. He makes mistakes at 23. All annoys me with.
By the way,
He's
Tom, there's a
29.
stat you completely ignored last time. Ederson has more assists than Gakpo.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
So, Tom, so you
I
don't
don't
think
know
that
what- I
there
don't know what
are a
relevance that
large
is to
number of
Diaz.
games? So you don't believe, Tom, that there are a large number of games where Diaz is actually our most threatening player and is actually our only outlet and helps to get the team up the field. See, these things aren't really tangible unless you pay attention. Do you know how many games we've done? Matt, I don't know if you remember, because we've done obviously every watch along. How many times have we said, regardless of whether his end product is annoying us, Diaz is the only outlet. He's the only threat. He's the only one penetrating. He's the only one who's kind of like carrying the attack.
I think he gets
It's
about me
happened
personally. He gets
so
about it.
many
Yeah.
times where
Diaz-
he's on his own and
Yeah.
he's the one taking the fight to the opposition.
Listen, I understand.
How if you bring in Barcola, is he gonna do that? I
The
don't
thing is,
know.
No,
I
Drift.
understand.
Give me
both
some
logics, though.
examples of these games.
I'm
which
not going to
games
be
are we
able
talking
to.
about?
My memory doesn't
What's
work
this?
like
Can I
that. As in,
take
like
Joyce?
pinpoint
Oh, let me
moments
check
of
now.
the
Yeah.
game.
I don't check-
Because
I'll
do
check
you know what
now.
it is? The
Full
one
Joyce.
thing I'll say about it, these games where Diaz is the outlet,
Joyce
Diaz
say?
is the special one who's dragging us forward. How many of them do we win?
Well, most of them because we win most games.
But I don't think if I'm thinking recently, I'm thinking these games where Diaz is the outlet. PSG at home, lost. Newcastle in the cup, he was the long ball outlet. We lost.
Okay, Paul Joyce. Let me see.
Fulham,
Yeah, but bro, you're just
when he
getting
came
a
on, he was the
close
outlet.
sample.
We lost.
But what about
But-
the last couple of games where we've won then? And Diaz.
So, Everton.
Sorry, guys. So Paul Joyce has come out with a few quotes. Liverpool
Yeah.
are in a strong position, having spent a year doing their extensive background work on potential targets and building up financial resources. He's also gone on to say that despite being on the verge of the title, Arne Slot is keen to refresh his side and take them to the next level with a long shopping list to help challenge on all fronts. Those are the only quotes as of right now.
No, he said something.
Different types of quotes today. Hopefully, Joyce is right. The other one's wrong.
He said about Isak. There is no doubt that Isak is admired, and Liverpool have put themselves in a position whereby they were being attractive proposition.
Yeah, we are going to actually wrap up though. boys.
Yeah.
They help the supers now.
Oh, fuck off, Sam. You know what? If we're gonna wrap up, hold on. If we're gonna wrap up, Sam, you know what we forgot to bring up? The evolution of the Calcase that I saw on Twitter yesterday.
Oh yeah, bring it up, Tom.
Sorry,
Bring it up.
what?
This is very important, actually.
Man said evolution.
Yeah.
Calcase.
Someone tweeted about.
Bring up
Can we care to explain this?
Yeah, bring
I
it up.
would-
Share screen, mate.
I wasn't in this picture.
Exactly.
That's the point.
So man, in this
Oh,
photo.
nah, they're trying to say because you weren't there.
You know how long ago that was?
17,
The Calcase
18,
extends years. The
That
Calcase
was
extends years.
1718.
Mhm,
for
but
real.
have we? Is the Calcase
This
time
is-
board? I don't
this
think it
is
is.
not-
All I'm seeing is
They're taking
the man who
it
signed a
serious.
new deal today with the two members of Kopish who don't have a case. Were you behind the camera or something? Did they have to relegate you behind the camera so you could take the photo?
We didn't even know each other at this point.
No, we did. I remember we did, but not like that.
No, I
though.
don't think we did, Matt. I don't.
Yeah, I
we did.
think. No, we did. I think
No, we didn't, Matt.
we did, bro.
No, we didn't, bro. We searched.
Why did someone in the chat say
You're
our
gonna
back
think
four
about
next
Fabinho.
season?
It was before.
No, shall I tell you
Hey,
what?
someone in the chat said our back four next season. That's the most hilarious comment.
That does look
Hey,
kind of
look
mad
at
though.
that.
Still,
Yeah, on the real, yeah. That if you swap Gaz and Matt, then yeah, that could run.
Aye,
Yeah,
me
but
and
look,
Matt,
I'm-
Matt can do the fullback thing. We say, Matt, you do left back, I do
yeah.
right back.
It's
yeah?
some of that. Oh, I'm a very undersized Kanate. So
No, shall I tell you why we did? Shall I tell you why we didn't know?
I like
each other?
Lissandro Martinez.
'Cause the first time I met Drift was
Yeah.
17 at the end of the 17-18 season. I hadn't met you by that time.
no, I'd met you. Think about it. The barber shop,
Who
bro.
started Kopish?
No, we hadn't.
You was there.
I met Drift before I met you, Matt.
Who started Kopish? Can I
No,
understand?
you didn't, bro.
Matt, I'm 100%. I met Drift before I met you, bro.
It was the same season we'd met, though, Cal. It was
No,
the
same season, 17, 18. I
It was
remember.
18-19, bro.
All right, watch this. Watch what I'm gonna ask V. I'm gonna ask V. Watch. Like what roughly when
No
it's
shit,
gonna
do
be
you
like-
know what, guys? That picture was 18-19. I just
that's,
realised
that's 18-19 because of the
that
deal
was
that
18. That's the year we won the Champions League.
the Gearys were.
Yeah, that was
18-19.
18-19. That picture. Yeah, that was the year
Oh
we
my
won the
days,
Champions
you're right. You're
It
right.
was a year. It was 18-19.
No, you're right, Jeff. You're right because I'm just thinking about when we went when we got the hook up to the game. Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
So what
yeah,
game
yeah.
was it you guys were watching then?
That I think that game there might have been. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. I think that might have been the West Ham game when Sturridge got 2 goals.
It
and
was
we won
Naby Keita's.
3.
Was it Naby Keita's debut?
Opening day of
Was
the
Gaz
season.
there?
Was it opening day
Naby
of the
Keita's
season?
debut. Yes. Naby Keita
Yes,
David.
yes.
You won
Sturridge got
4-0.
2 goals, right?
Salah, Sturridge didn't score 2. It was Mane who scored 2. Salah got the first. Mane got the
Sturridge
second.
got the
Hashtag Naby things.
Mane
Yes.
got the
No,
third, which
I
was offside.
Sturridge scored that day, didn't
He
he?
scored. He
He
didn't
got
get
a
2.
Scored,
yeah.
Jeff. I think got the last goal. I think.
Oh,
Yes.
I knew he scored.
with his
Yeah,
first.
I knew
He
he
came
scored.
off the bench
Yeah,
and scored with his first touch off the corner.
Yeah. I knew he scored. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good day. That was a bloody good day.
That was a great
still.
day, bro.
So can you guys answer who started Kopish?
It was Matt Drift were the first 2.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They had the channel before.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to find. People are saying Canate.
All right. No, let's make it seem like me and Matt were the co-founders of the Football Banter show.
Mhm.
And then when we wanted to bring Cal on board, we rebranded. So technically, Cal has always been a part of Kopish.
Yeah, Cal was even a
It
part
was
of
called
Football
the
Banter
Football
show.
Banter Show.
But
Yeah,
we were
so
called the Football Banter
our
show.
first
before.
channel was Football Banter Show. Cal used to appear on Football Banter Show even then as
As
well.
a guest. Yeah.
They're both
Yeah.
being Sam and Tom. They're both being very nice. They had built up a very good platform before I started. They asked me to join, and I was very humble to join. So Matt and Drift started.
No, you're doing the humble thing. The numbers
I'm not
went
doing
up,
the
and we
humble-
were like, it makes sense.
Don't do the humble
not
thing,
doing
Callum.
the-
The whole world knows you now. Stop it.
I'm not doing the humble. Guys, I
Don't
had
do the
no-
whole, oh my God, I'm
No,
humble.
I'm
Just
not-
know.
put them on the table and say, I'm
No,
Callum
no,
Sanderson, God damn it.
no,
Just
no,
Sam, he's doing the
no,
whole. Oh, I'm so lucky. I'm so
No,
lucky.
yeah,
I
I'm
was
so
invited to
lucky.
go.
I'm just a
whatever,
guy
man.
from
I was just a
Liverpool.
little guy who didn't have
Oh,
any.
do me a
This
I'm
is a
gonna
little
do it
guy
as
who didn't
Sam
have
now.
any presents.
I'm gonna do it as
Oh,
Sam now. I'm gonna do it as Sam now. I'm gonna take over the stream. What I'm saying is, I didn't have any media or social media following that justified Matt and Drift bringing me on. They brought me on because we had worked together. Hence why I'm saying they founded Kopish and started Kopish and brought me.
Okay, can I ask you a question, honestly?
Yeah.
Did Tom do anything on social media to justify me bringing him on my channel?
I knew
No.
of Tom before he was on your channel.
Tom was doing streams with Vel. Do you understand where he was?
Yeah, but I still
And
knew.
I made him a star.
No, but
I
no
put-
one knew.
I put my name next to Tom. So, and look how
The
arrogant
first
Tom
ever
is
show I
now.
did on camera for football was with Drifty.
Yeah, but look how
My
arrogant
first
Tom
ever
is
show.
now. He's like,
Hold
fuck
on a
off,
minute.
Hussam. So this whole thing of you doing that humble thing, there's no need to do
I'm
humble
not
thing.
doing him. I'm talking facts. Like without.
Can you
Matt
just
and
say
Drift,
my
I
name
wouldn't
is
be in this
Callum
position.
Sanderson and I made it. The whole planet knows me. I have been on, what's the name of that thing again? Lad Bible. You get me? You've been on there as well.
I
You
work
get
bloody
me?
hard. I will say that, but without Matt
Yeah.
and Drift, I wouldn't have had a platform. But I
I'm
work
with
bloody
legends, guys.
That's
Come on.
rubbish.
You did that shit. Come on.
You
Give
would
yourself
have
some
made
fucking
it.
credit.
You would have been doing what you did without us. What's that? See,
Yeah,
you're doing
bro.
the
What is
whole-
this
I'm not
energy,
doing-
bro?
They
You
just
would
would have been
design
another
people.
entry somewhere.
Look,
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
but
You
make-
probably would have
make
found
it
another
right.
like
But I can
another
only talk
avenue.
about the-
Like
I can only talk about the life I've lived, right? And without you and Drift saying, "Cal, we want to bring you on board," I don't know it. Like I wouldn't have had a platform like that. I think
Guys,
you
sorry
can.
to
Maybe you
cut
would have
in.
met me and we would have
Guys, I've
started
got
Hussamish.
Kanate
I don't
news.
know.
I've got
But like
Kanate
you
news.
were
Basically, the talent ID was on point, and we knew Cal was going to get there, so we brought him in before someone else signed him.
same with
Guys,
this.
This is what-
fucking
this is
idiot.
what-
You
this
know
is
what
what
goes
you
to stay
do.
though, Hussam, in the story?
I've got
It didn't
Kanate
take
news.
4 years after saying we want to get you on to get you on. It seems like it's just these two that nail it.
See, Tom, that was a low blow.
1-0 Tom. 1-0
All
Tom.
right, guys, just quickly, I've got an extract from because I've got Joyce's article. He speaks about should Trent leave on a freeze for Madrid? There's a question of whether a new right back is needed or whether Conor Bradley is challenged by existing members of the squad. Kwanzaa, Gomez, and now Curtis Jones was play fullback. If that's the case, do Liverpool need another centre back, especially as Kanate is heading into the final year of his deal and new contract talks do not appear particularly advanced? Huijsen is the 19-year-old Spanish international, has a 50 million release clause, which makes Bournemouth particularly susceptible. I can't even pronounce it. I hate saying that one. Susceptible.
I'm from a third world country. English, my second language.
Nah, bro, just the pronunciation that I got wrong, bro. Let me land. Just one word.
I
Look how freely I was.
Can't even say
like-
susceptible, chat.
Bro,
I speak
look how
4
freely
languages, you
I
can't
was
say
reading. The chat,
susceptible.
no, I'm serious at reading. I could go. I'm trying to read it fast. I got one word pronunciation wrong, and now I'm getting cooked.
He's
It's
the
actually
that's
pronunciation in British English.
Oh my days! But yeah, basically, what I was gonna say is it doesn't look good for Ibu though. I'll be real, it's not looking good.
You know
The
Big
fact
up,
that
Ibu.
Paul-
I'm not gonna
Paul
lie.
Joyce-
If we signed Virgil and Salah, but we let Kanate go, I'm still crashing out.
Same.
I'm
Say that again,
still
Swift, say that
crashing out.
again, say that again, say that again, sorry.
He said,
I
he's
know,
still
just because we signed Virgil and Salah, if we let Ibu go, I'm crashing out.
I mean, if he doesn't want to sign a new deal, what can we do?
Yeah, there you go. See,
I don't think it'll be on him. I think it'll be we haven't offered him the right wages.
Well, he wants reported 200.
I mean-
I'm sure we can
He
find a
deserves to
compromise.
be on 200. He's a key part of the team.
Of course he
I mean,
is.
it swings in both ways, though, doesn't it? This is his first year where he's actually been injury free. If we sign
Yeah,
him
but he's
for
been
200
good the
grand a
whole
week,
time he's
No,
been
but
here.
Ibu's
Tom.
been bruv, we won.
I don't disagree his level, but it's about the biggest abilities, availability. If we give him 200, because let's be honest, it said he wants 200 grand a week with the fact that Van Dijk
you
and
think
Salah have signed.
Kwanzaa's
he'll
better
want
and you
more
call
than
me
that.
a cock? That's crazy.
I never said Kwanzaa's better. You took one thing I said and ran with it. I said
You are
Kwanzaa's better
okay.
on
You
the
are
ball.
okay with
Maybe
Konate
because you
leaving.
stabbed me in the back. I heard the quote and I agree with Sam.
Yes, thank you, Callum. You know, just
fucker,
because you said Konate.
You're
you
my
know-
lawyer.
you know,
You're
Tom-
totally on my side.
Nah,
Tom, if Konate leaves Liverpool Football Club, if Konate leaves Liverpool Football Club,
lawyer.
we must all crash out. We're all susceptible to
100%.
crashing out if that happens. It has
Yeah,
to.
we
We
can't
are
allow-
all crash out.
Do you want to know something as well, guys? Yeah, we always talk about wages when we talk about is he worth it, is he not, etc., etc.
Only club to do
How
it.
comes no one does the reverse and go, right, you know what, the output we're getting from that player for what he's on, that's brilliant. Why does no one ever do that? But everyone will.
You're trying to do Diaz
prop
prop again, huh?
Well,
Diaz on
Kanate's
50
on
grand a
70,
week, look at
right?
his output.
No, hold on.
Yeah, because
If
Diaz
you-
is on
if
like
he was on
55 grand a
70
week and he has 31 GA. That's basically his point.
No,
but I get the
there's
premise.
more-
Though. I get the
No,
premise.
no. Let me land.
That's why
We've
you're
got-
smiling now.
We've got
That
Curtis Jones on 30 grand a week. We've got Ibu on 75 to 80 grand a week. We've got Diaz on 55 grand a week.
There
All
it
of
is.
these players play well and do their part. And no one goes, do you know what? For what they're getting paid, it's brilliant. Everyone just crashes on them.
I don't think anyone's against Ibu getting a pay rise, but I don't think he.
No,
I don't
I'm
think-
saying, why don't we appreciate that these guys are on low wages and perform well?
Oh,
Kelleher's on 10 grand a week, and he's the third or fourth best goalie in the league.
I don't think anyone takes that away. But my point
I
is,
think they do.
my
I
point
actually think
is,
they do.
Ibu Konate's not asking for. I don't think Ibu Konate with Van Dijk and Salah signing is asking for 200 grand a week. I think he's going to be asking for closer to 250 because I think everyone's going to be asking for that bump in wages because the wage.
No,
the
no. You're
bar
doing too
is
much. No
higher.
one's going to ask you.
No,
that
I don't
much.
think so,
Yeah.
Tom. Personally, I don't think so.
Don't do that.
Well, even if it's 200, am I comfortable giving Ibu Konate the? I think it would be third.
Kai
or fourth
Havertz is
highest
on
wage.
300 grand a week. Just be
Yes,
quiet.
but Hassam, just because other people make shit financial decisions doesn't mean I want to.
No, but he. I think if you look at the,
I
Look
don't-
at the
I don't
going rate
necessarily-
of centre backs, though, Tom. Just the
I
going.
don't
That's what
necessarily.
they're paid.
I don't necessarily feel comfortable in giving Ibu Konate
Konate is top
200
5 centre
grand a
back in the
week.
world.
You
But
don't
when
feel
he's
comfortable.
when he's fit. I don't feel comfortable in giving him that level of wage if I get the Konate that I had for the first 2 years.
Yeah, but you're the same
where he's
person that's
missing 20
praising Slot
games.
for the fitness thing. So keep the same energy.
He's done really well this
So
year.
he's going to be
He's
more
done-
fit next season.
No,
blah, blah,
Sam,
blah.
he's done really well this year. But again, this could be a one-time thing. The problem is he's not got the. I don't have the time on the contract to figure out if I'm
Does
going to
that-
be correct.
does that
about
Tom,
it.
do you think
It's gotta
he's good
be made
enough,
now.
though? Do you
Sorry,
think he's
does
good
that-
enough?
I think Konate's ability is there. It's top
Do we cash
5
in
in
on
the
Bradley
world.
by that? Do we cash in on Bradley by that metric then?
1-0
Why
Callum.
are we cashing on Bradley?
Because he's injury prone. You said
He's
the
got-
best.
Bradley's got
ability-
more
He's
He's
had
got
2
left on his deal.
injuries in his short Liverpool
He's
career,
hamstrings,
mate.
bro. He's got hamstring issues.
Bradley's got so much longer left on his deal.
Twice he has injuries in 2 years.
I tell you
That's not
what we
deal.
do need to do,
We
and
can't
we're going to
allow it,
talk
is it?
about this. We're going to talk about this soon. We need to get McAllister in the office, and we need to get a new deal done
Mhm.
ASAP.
Yeah,
We'll talk about that another time.
That's a
Yeah.
guy that's definitely worth 200 grand a week.
yeah.
Just before you do the
100.
super chats, Callum, I know you want to run through them because you have school, and I've got to pick up Tom as well.
Oh my fucking
I have a
God.
message from Vel just quickly. Tell Kopish the first time me and Tom were on stream together, Tom was bashing Wijnaldum, calling him shit, overrated.
Cal knows
sell him.
this. Cal knows
Yeah.
I don't like Wijnaldum. Oh, I didn't like Wijnaldum in the last
Big
year
up,
of his
man.
career.
Big up.
But when I used to
I'm
work,
I'm so glad that you said on stream after bashing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Oh, well, that is a dodge. Well,
Where's my
Well,
pause
that's
t-shirt? I
crazy.
can't even find it, bro.
Yeah.
Drifty, that's
That
actually
is-
something surprisingly that Tom is very successful in.
Mazza, bro.
I have no idea how he pulled the girl that he pulled. I have no idea how. He's completely dating above his league. Like it makes no sense. But well done to you, Tom. You know, you actually accomplished something significant. You've been on Don Hussam on Kopish after 4 years, and you're dating her. So congratulations.
Vida says, been saying for a few years, need a proper destroyer at the 6 and a proper creative midfielder at the number 10. Szoboszlai should be on the bench next season. Need a player like Coutinho to link play and play with our forwards, Salah and Isak. I fully agree with that.
That would be the best 10. If we could find a 22-year-old Coutinho regen, would be in the money.
Salah and Isak would score 6 million goals, bro.
Alex
Coutinho,
Highland,
Isak, and Salah in the same team. Jesus.
where does Maka rank in all Premier League out of all the Premier League midfielders right now?
Top 5.
the face. Numero uno.
I think he's the best. I've
Two.
already said this. I've said this
Look,
from
yeah.
last season.
Rodri's the only midfielder better than him in the Premier League.
Oh yeah, shit. I forgot about
I
Rodri.
agree with that. I think Rodri's the only.
All right, let
Rodri's
me
the only
rephrase that. Yeah, maybe second to Rodri.
He's the
But
best
until
fit
Rodri
midfielder.
proves that he's over his injury, it's McAllister.
So he's top 3 or top 5 for me.
He's not even in your top 3.
I said either top 3 or top 5.
But why are you adding top 5 and not just top 3 though?
Who have
Rodri,
you got ahead of him?
Who have you got
Kevin
ahead
De
of him?
Bruyne.
There's somewhere you're gonna put in there that's really gonna upset me, Carl. I know there is.
No. I need to hear the list.
Declan Rice, Thomas Partey.
You think, but you think
Oh,
Basmati's
oh,
better than
oh.
McAllister, isn't it?
I don't. I think they have a different skill set, and I think they're about par.
Each to their own, man. Each to their own.
I also have Tonali in my my top 5 as well.
Bruno is clear of Tonali. Bruno
I
Guimaraes.
disagree. I actually think Tonali's the one that makes Newcastle tick. And
Tonali's a baller.
hold on, we've seen Newcastle without Tonali, we've seen Newcastle without Bruno. When Tonali's there, they're a whole nother beast. When
Tonali-
Bruno's
Yeah, but that's
there,
because they had
Yeah,
Matt
but
Ritchie.
but Bruno Guimaraes is the glue to their midfield. You
when
know?
Tonali's not there,
Yeah.
Guimaraes does not cook.
Bruv, you see Tonali, he's quality. I'm not even debating it, by the way. I'm just saying, I think in terms of how Newcastle play, obviously they need all 3, but Guimaraes is the glue because Tonali makes the runs off the ball.
Bruno's also in my top 5 as well.
So you think both Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes are both better than McAllister?
I'm saying I don't know.
And
no,
Declan Rice. And who was the other one you said?
no, I didn't say Declan's better than him, but I
Oh.
said he's in the top 5. Rodri's the best.
I'll say it. I'll be honest with you. Listen, number 1, Rodri. Number 2, Kevin De Bruyne. Number 3, Declan. Number 4,
Bruno's
McAllister.
not in there anymore.
I listen, for me, world class is a tag. I don't just push him to the side. I put him second.
He's not world class in 2025.
I think in 30 minutes, Kevin De Bruyne can affect the game more
game
than
90
anyone else not called Rodri.
Game 90
Both
minutes.
football matches aren't 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If you brought him off the bench, he could win you a game in 30 minutes.
I'm sorry, I can't have the second best midfielder be a fucking role player.
Where does Szoboszlai rank? Top 50. Anyway, next chat.
What relevance is that?
Ishan, can Cherki sometimes play instead of Salah?
Yes, he
Yeah.
can play right wing as well.
Because that's what
it-
people are realizing. Yesterday, when he was cooking up Man United, he was actually playing right wing.
He would.
He
Well,
wasn't
he-
even
he-
playing.
He
in the
would do
team.
what
both,
Bernardo
yeah.
Silva used to do at Man City. He used to plan the wing, not
And then at one
explosive,
point,
but good technical ability
Cherki
and-
swapped and went left
Yeah.
wing. Do you know how ambidextrous Cherki is?
Yeah, he's one of the most ambidextrous players I've seen.
You
in
know,
the
you
last
know,
10
you know,
years.
whichever side the corner is, he takes with the other
Yeah.
foot.
Santi
I've been
Cazorla,
saying
innit?
this for years. You're stealing my
Cazorla.
flow now, Drift. I've been saying this for years, bro.
It's crazy. There's only
Santi
3
Cazorla.
players in the world I've seen more ambidextrous in him: Ousmane Dembele, Pavel Nedved, and Santi Cazorla. They're the only players I've ever seen more ambidextrous than Cherki. It's ridiculous.
I mean,
how
Nunes is
good
pretty
he
ambidextrous. He's shit with both feet.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Jesus.
Bum 1-0 Drifty. Anyway.
Raw.
Yeah, no.
Oh, raw. Introvert audio. The whole point of peak slot ball is not losing the ball and making the correct decision. Did you guys forget that? That's why I've been trying not to rush the game. The 10 adds to that.
I agree. Cherki helps us keep possession better.
Introvert also goes on to say, next thing, Szoboszlai doesn't like to receive the ball enough in dangerous spaces up the pitch enough. So we tend to go as direct. Putting more pressure on our midfield and defenders also affects attack.
You can read him so easily, Szoboszlai. He's just trying to find daddy on the pitch. It's so jarring.
Yeah, but that's our entire team, Sam.
No, that's not our entire
built
team.
around-
So others
our
take risks.
entire team is
McAllister
being
takes
built
risks.
around-
Ravenberg takes risks. I'm not trying to hear it. Diaz takes risks.
Don't
Everyone.
take risks from a passing element because that's not his game. McAllister's the only one I'd say in the team. Him and Trent are the only two others who don't who take the game by the scruff of the neck and go, no, I don't need Salah. I've got this. The rest of them do. They all do.
I think there's occasions when Gakpo does that.
Yeah, because Salah's setting him up.
No. Sometimes he takes the initiative himself.
He takes the initiative like Brighton, like so many examples.
Yeah. There's times when Gakpo takes initiative. There is.
Yeah,
He
that's
could do it more often, but there are some
Diaz
times
takes
when
initiative
Gakpo
as well. I
The
agree.
game
with that.
against Brighton, Salah wasn't on the pitch. That was a Carabao Cup.
Actually, Salah was on the pitch when Gakpo scored the third.
Oh, come on.
You're getting so many wrong facts today.
Diaz got
actually, Hassam.
Diaz
Diaz got the third.
Yeah, let's
Gakpo
talk. Cook
got
now.
the second and the
Can't
first.
cook with
Fourth,
cold-
sorry,
can't
Gakpo
cook
scored
with
the
cold
fourth.
oil,
No,
bro.
we didn't score 4 against Brighton. We only scored 3.
We scored 3. We won the game 3-2. Can't cook with cold
3-2.
oil, bro.
Yeah,
Official
I
AMV
made a
speak
mistake. It
says-
happens.
Big up the elite panel.
Agreed.
Jaquez
100%.
says none of our midfielders are irreplaceable. Barella, Pedri, Vitinha, Tonali, Bruno, Valverde, Camavinga, Fabio, Caicedo, Jean Neves, Declan could replace any 3 of our midfielders, and we would be fine.
I'd agree with that to an extent, but let me just go through your list quickly.
I don't agree.
Unattainable, possible, too old, unattainable. So the only ones that are possible is Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, Valverde, Camavinga. The rest are either Fabian Ruiz is 28, we ain't gonna sign him. The rest are all unattainable.
Do you know what?
I
I've heard a few little trinklets that Liverpool have been this whole time keeping tabs on Barella. I got a feeling we might try and do something with that.
He's
you
too
know?
old.
Barella ain't leaving.
We've
it,
been
man.
trying for 4 years, but he just doesn't
Yeah,
want to leave it.
yeah,
We said, Cal, we said Tonali wouldn't leave Milan. I ain't
Brother, they
giving up.
got him out of there because he had betting scandals, bro. They had to get
No,
him
but,
out.
no, but look, it worked out.
They pushed him out the door.
They had to push
knew
him
what
out
they
the
were
door.
doing.
He was crying at the Ultras the day he left.
No, guys, let's be honest.
It
He
was
only
either that or
got a
everyone at AC.
7-month
It was
ban.
either he goes to jail, everyone at AC goes to jail. They
Yeah,
had to
no,
get him out,
He only got a 7-month ban. It wasn't that
Only,
bad.
bro. That's
Yeah, that's a long time for AC Milan.
But
7
he's been
months
cooking
ban
for
versus
Newcastle
Drift.
either side of
Drift.
the ban. It is what it is.
Drift. How much would they have got for him if it after the news had come out that he was in a betting scandal?
20.
There's
No,
a
but
reason
why
the
would
Pep
they even
hasn't
get
been
rid
able to
of
be
him?
sold.
Though?
Big bruv, he had to leave
Lucas
Milan
Paqueta.
to get, so his
He had to leave
addiction.
the country, bro. I had to
It's
flee.
for the better of him, bro. His addiction, bro. There's no way he can stay in
He had
in
to
Milan.
flee the country, Drift. Because
Hold on, are we acting like there ain't no internet? You can bet anywhere.
No, I'm not saying that, but maybe
Why
I
we
don't
acting
know.
like you could only
No,
bet.
no.
here?
What I'm
in
saying
the
is maybe his
country,
brethren and that. I don't know. Maybe you got to take someone out of their comfortability situation.
All right, well, let's get Barella
You know what
caught
I'm
up in a scandal that'll get him a month's ban then. Whatever. I just want him at Liverpool, innit?
We ain't getting Barella. Him and Bastoni.
It is what it is,
I don't
bro.
think Brella leaves. That's a problem.
Him and
I don't think he
Bastoni,
leaves.
they're not going anywhere. They're not
Barella's
going
better than all our midfielders. He's just unattainable.
Victory says, could it
He's
be
not
that
better than
Soppo
Szoboszlai.
rather plays in a free roam? Does it feel like he's trapped and therefore avoiding taking risks?
He's trapped. He's playing with Nunes and Jota. He doesn't have a destroyer behind him. Let me bring out the tissue box so we can all have a cry along, bro. Do me a favor, bro. Just say it as it is.
What
He
I will
doesn't
say,
take risks,
for
doesn't have enough
Hungary-
cojones. Just say
for
it as it is.
Hungary, he does have freedom to roam, but he doesn't deserve that at Liverpool because he's not earned that. Salah has a free roam because he's earned that. Sobo's not on that level yet. Tyler, you guys talking past each other a little. KDB a better 10, but that midfield 3 would be unbalanced.
But us in
I
transition,
understand
us trying to
For
put in
30 minutes
transitions
when
with
we're 1-0
people-
down,
It's
it
just
doesn't
as a in the squad as an option.
But you know
No.
what? 5 years ago, it wouldn't have been unbalanced because KDB had legs. It's just because
Oh,
he's
agreed.
old. It's just because he's old.
Well, it's
That's
not only
it.
that,
30
he's
minutes
he's
left,
definitely
30.
leaving in it as well. He's definitely leaving.
Father
because of
Time
contract.
is undefeated. It happens to the
But
best. of
I'm
us.
not saying I want Kevin De Bruyne to
Actually,
start
it
for
is
Liverpool
defeated.
every single game. You know what I'm
It is
saying?
defeated.
Scraps.
I'm
says
not going to
based
say
on-
who I thought the youngest one is, but yeah.
Yeah, we know. Scraps, based on the same sources you just shows on Cal. Scraps, bro, come on. You've been following us long enough to know that as content creators, we have to report stuff that we see. If we only reported stuff that is actually coming out of the club, we'd probably film once every 2 months. So come on, like on a real, like we would have recorded once in the summer when Chiesa news broke. Like
Our
No,
channels
twice.
would be like Tom's channel, essentially.
Why should have got Mama Dashvili?
yeah, twice. Like we have.
Hello, guys. Welcome to
Right.
Kop-Ish Kollab joins Liverpool. Next episode, 2 months later. Hi, guys.
Yeah,
Mama
like-
Dashvili.
We're like content creators. We have to speak about
Like,
the
the algorithm would never forgive us.
Ever.
Official MD speak says we apply old metrics to the 10 expression creativity. I prefer that type of 10, but Sobo for all his lack in that ignites the press and brings other forwards in. Needs to shoot more, though.
That's what I agree with. I know Hassan mentioned earlier Rui Costa. Rui Costa was an incredible 10, but 10s don't play like that. There's no 10 of the Rui Costa ilk anymore. They're a dying breed. They're dead, actually. They're extinct. Teams don't accommodate for those type of 10s anymore.
That is
Unfortunately, they're either shoved out on the wing, or they're killed from the game. You
actually
don't see
true.
them anymore.
For as great as Kevin De Bruyne was on the ball, Kevin De Bruyne had tenacity off the ball, would chase down people, would trap back. He did all the things Sobo does. He just has a whole nother level.
There has never been a 10 in the last 5 years. I could even probably go back further. In the last 7-8 years, there's not been a number 10. Bar Lionel Messi, who was just the exception to the fucking rule,
I hate you,
as he
mate.
always is, who just walks around and doesn't do anything.
I can imagine Mark saying it as well. The game's gone, bro.
Yeah, I can imagine the way I'm Mark would say about the game's gone.
Do you want to know what as well? Yeah, I think number 10s have had it coached out of them, and that's what I hate. I think system football has coached, because I reckon they come through the
I
youth
agree,
team and
though.
they've got all of that ability that
Yeah.
Rui Costa had, and then it's just coached out. of them.
I think that's why a lot of
that's
people have enjoyed PSG this season, because it's not been as fucking rigid and
It's not
regimental.
just that though, Drift. The reason it's been coached out is because most teams who play a 10 now don't win as much as teams who don't.
Mhm.
Look at Liverpool's most successful period was Henderson, Fabinho, and Wijnaldum.
Mm.
So,
No, I hear you.
Sharif, to Hassam, can we do a live?
I was crying when I read this earlier. It says, can we do a live ruqya on stream for Callum to remove the
Nah,
curse?
that is
Surah
crazy.
Al-Baqarah will do the job
What's
for
a
me.
rookie?
Yeah,
So he
what is-
basically wants me to read the longest chapter of the Quran on you to remove the curse.
That is
So he doesn't just believe.
raw.
So hold on,
Your
is this
curse.
like an exorcism?
Yeah, he essentially wants me to exercise an exorcism.
Wow.
There is a demon in you, Cal, which takes it out on Liverpool transfer
All right, no,
targets.
before we move on, Hassam, what do you think the chances are it will work?
That's a good
Wow.
point, actually.
Callum Firth. I've seen.
That's mad.
I'm not trying to scare anyone in the chat or anything. I've seen exorcisms in real life, in the same room as me. I've seen them vomit different colors. I've seen like so many different things. I think we could get the curse out to like 100
Wow.
guarantee.
The fact that we even took now,
You
this
know
is
what's mad?
crazy.
When
This
Hassan
is
was
crazy.
speaking, I thought he was going to be like, I think we're going too far. He was actually
Yeah.
like, no, like we
I
can
think
make this
we
work.
We can make this happen, yeah.
No, but he didn't.
I've
He
seen
was like,
demons come out before. I think we can get the one out of Cal. That's what Hassan basically
he was sitting there. He was sitting there going, "It's gonna hurt. It's gonna look vile as anything, but it'll work."
I literally thought the next thing
has.
Hassan was gonna say was after all of it, yeah, and it'll be a members only stream as well. Like you gotta pay. Members only.
Hey,
The next evolution of the Cal monetization. Want to watch me get exercise?
No.
$4.99 a month. Thank you very much.
I said,
Oh my days.
Nothing no for Friday.
Jay Will says Jones absolutely locked up Palmer versus Chelsea. Palmer got an assist for the goal, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he?
No, it was
Was it
Caicedo.
Was it Caicedo?
Honestly, God, I'm gonna batter both of you in this quiz. How do you not remember this stuff?
Chill, Tom.
Tom, it's funny because Callum said he would beat me in a quiz. I'm 5-0 up against him.
Guys.
Just a random
They
question.
fucking have a bad day, you know.
Guys. It's Easter holiday. Once the kids go back to school on Monday, Cal's brain will be back.
Tell him, Drift, bruv. They don't believe me, bruv. Tell him.
It's Easter holiday. No, I'm serious. It's Easter holiday.
I've
don't
worked with him
believe
for almost a year now, and I don't recognize the Callum you're talking about.
No, but Drift, you gotta understand. On the show on Tuesday, we brought up this idea of a quiz, and then the question was Hassan brought up who scored in the 1-0 win against Bolton.
I got it wrong.
No, you got the entire game wrong.
And the score and everything.
No, I got the game wrong. But
No,
the
but
matter
was
is-
that during Easter holidays? Because
Yes,
then my
no,
point.
No, it was not. It was
yeah,
last
it was
Monday.
No,
It
it
was
was
last
this
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I wasn't there, so
Yeah,
was it this week just gone?
Yeah, see.
And then Callum asked me who are the 4 goal scorers in the opening game against Norwich. I named them all correctly.
You didn't. You
I
only named
thought I
3 of
did
them.
see it rolling now. I'm not gonna
Callum,
lie.
I would destroy you in a quiz. Don't even try.
Drift
Bruh.
The only one that could beat
I don't know
the one
about
that could beat us all in a quiz, honestly, is Tom, because Tom has this memory. I don't know how the hell.
Hold on,
He
can I
must eat
host
a
this
lot of
quiz then?
walnuts.
This is
Tom
exciting.
just has a laptop, bro.
Can I host this quiz?
Well, I'm just fucking Michael Edwards.
No, you cannot host
No,
this
bro,
quiz
but I
because you're
just see,
going
do you know
to
the
be
amount of times
biased.
we're having a conversation?
No,
I can
Hassan,
see Tom
if you
doing
know
this.
anything, is that I will not be biased, bro.
No, you are gonna be biased. I can tell.
No,
we'll
I
get
won't.
the neutral.
You will get a neutral. We'll get a neutral.
Jamie
Jordan,
Phillips.
Um,
I want
man,
Jamie
wanna be
Phillips
the
to host.
man. Let me host.
I want Jamie
I am
Phillips
not in
to
this
host.
quiz. I am not a quiz person whatsoever.
No,
No,
Jamie
no.
Phillips
All
will
right,
come up
Matt.
with
What about if
answering
you and me do
questions.
the co-hosting? We come up with the questions, and then
Yeah,
the
that's fair. That's
competition is
fair. That's
between
fair.
Tom- And I can promise you, on God, we would not give Cal the
You know
answers.
what they're
We would
gonna do?
never
They're gonna
do
go
that.
like,
We would
in the
never
year
do that.
1935, who was Liverpool's top goal scorer, Hussam? And then they'll ask Callum, who did Liverpool buy from Barcelona? Like that's
No,
what they're
no,
gonna do.
No, we would never do that. We'd never do
Sam,
that.
I'll get Ashley.
They'll probably do
I'll
the
get
opposite,
Ashley.
bro. They'll probably do the opposite and ask me the 35 question. Like they probably would.
No, Sam, we'll get a question like who played the 4th pass in the 18 pass build up to our goal against such and such in 2004? And then
Goal
Carl
14.
get the question, what colour is Liverpool's home kit? And it's multiple choice, so let us read out all the answers for you so we can figure this out.
No, it'll be more like in 1920, Liverpool won the league in a kit that had pinstripes. How many pinstripes are actually on the kit?
Yeah, there you go. See? There you go.
Jordan X6 says off topic, but may I ask, what were your guys' reaction when the Aguero moment happened? Obviously, scoring the winner.
I celebrated it 100%.
Did you
I will tell you. I will
I
tell you
celebrate.
now.
I celebrated.
I-
I got gassed.
I was sitting 2 seats away from my brother, who's a Man United fan. I jumped up. I shouted, "Fucking have some of that," in his face. I then sprinted to the other side of my house, to which my mum said, "What on earth are you doing?" To which I said, celebrating the fact that Man United just didn't win the league. To which she said, "Oh, don't do that to your brother." Which I said, "Oh, yes, I will." Then I ran back in the room. And then one more time in my brother's face said, "How'd you like them apples?" That is exactly what happened.
You
I
can
think I-
only,
I- I
you
think
can
I was
only
10.
get away with that as a big brother. You
Oh,
can only get away with-
100%.
100%.
So I don't
Oh,
remember very well.
100%.
If I
And
did
if he
that,
If I had a
hit
big
me,
brother, if I had a big brother, I couldn't do that.
if he'd hit me, then I would have understood. I would have still broke him up, but I would have understood why he hit me because I was doing a lot. I was doing a lot.
Yeah, I was 10, so I don't remember it very well.
We know, Tom. We know. Don't worry. Also, you were not 10, you were 5.
Shut up.
Big
I was
says,
not born in
"Sam,
2007.
I've been watching you since we got Nunes. Hassam, you see yourself as a man of his word. We need that bald head Batman cap back. Shave it off." The
Oh, is
streets are
that when
asking me-
Hassam did the stream where he had to cut his hair?
No, when the Bellingham one. And
Yeah,
then
the
his hair
Jude
grew back
Bellingham
the next
one.
day. His hair
Yeah,
grew
the
back. the
Bellingham
next day.
He's lost a good Liverpool shirt forever because of that.
Yeah, I've lost it forever because of fucking Jude as well.
Why did you lose a shirt?
Because I'm so dumb. I didn't wear anything on the shirt, and the entirety of the thing is filled with hair, and I've watched it 700 times in interviews just to go.
Can't you just shake it out, bro?
No, I can't.
Man said
Because
it's
the hair is all
embedded.
here. You know
Yeah.
when you go to the barber and you get the thing and they tie
Yeah,
it up
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't wear that because I was unaware of this whole situation. And then the whole like neck area of the shirt is completely just the hair is like stuck inside here. It's not removable. It's literally like
I'm not gonna
jammed.
lie. I'd have sat there for hours and plucked each hair out. I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll get the tweezers and actually just
Yeah,
pluck
I
them hairs out.
that's one thing I don't. I never
Jesus.
throw away my Liverpool shirts. Never.
I didn't throw it away. It's still somewhere. I don't know where.
Do you know what
AJ
you should do?
knows
One time you see wifey, you should be like, "Babe, I know you're incredible, but you will actually be on a whole nother level if you can get this shirt clean."
I'll let you try that.
I would do that actually.
Yeah,
I'll
let me
do
know how
that.
that goes, Drew.
I think you know the best
I
part
would
about
do it.
I'd probably
You know
get
the-
stabbed in the throat. If
I know that's a dangerous game to play though. I,
No,
I
just give
wouldn't
her
do
a
that.
chance to show how great she is. 100%.
Yeah, and give her a
no.
chance to stab you.
No,
Yeah, I was
because
gonna
you know
say.
what? You know what? You'll say that and then she'll go.
Nothing
"I'm
wrong with a
great
woman
already."
that wants to stab you. That's the purest form of love.
What? Getting stabbed?
Getting stabbed.
No, if a woman wants to stab you, that just shows how much she loves you. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know if that's the relationship you want, Hassan. I'm not
Oh,
gonna lie.
yeah, Hassan, I don't know.
Yeah, I
about
don't
that,
know. That's a bit of
don't know
a
about that,
mad
brother.
one still.
I know there's a
How
thin line
awkward
between love
that
and
is
hate.
in
I
that
get the
comment.
premise. There's a thin line between love and hate.
No,
but,
no,
yeah.
there's no line there, bro. If you pick up a knife,
I love
from me,
these guys.
But there shouldn't be a
Yeah.
thin line between love and stab.
yeah.
All it takes is one sentence, and I just make the whole thing awkward.
AJ, AJ
I just
knows
don't want to get stabbed.
Man said she don't love you. What are you telling me? She never tried to juke you before.
She's never
never tried to
considered
stab
killing you.
That
She
means she
don't
don't
love
love
you.
you, bro.
She don't love
She
you,
don't
bro.
love
If
You
that's
never
love,
seen
I
a
don't-
knife
if-
in front of your eyes?
if that's
If a woman does not consider killing you, she does not love you. I'm telling you
then
right now.
cool. I don't want to be loved, bro. This is really bad.
Up to you.
I'm quite happy to
Yeah.
sleep without one eye
I'm
open.
happy
wondering,
to be.
fuck,
I'm happy
am I-
to be
is
liked
this
and
the nice?
admired. I'm
Is
happy
this
to
the
be
nice?
liked and admired. I don't need love.
Oh,
then.
she's definitely gonna like you and admire you, 100%.
Yeah, then that's cool. I'm good with that. Then I don't.
You just
need-
can't fuck up.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good with it.
So you guys
Um,
haven't experienced true love, bro. True love. yeah.
That's fine. I don't want it. I
I'm
don't
more
want
than
it.
happy to not experience
Real
true love.
love.
You know, that's calm.
I
I
don't
know
want
wanna
it.
be
Hassan's
I don't
just
wanna be
waiting
sitting
there
in
to
my
be
house.
like,
Tom,
What do you
that
mean?
that's
This
the
guy right
about
here,
love you are
this
unaware
is
of.
what love is.
Hassan's one toxic guy. I can tell now. I can just see it.
Me
now.
toxic? I'm so
You
not
don't
toxic.
love me. You don't love me. When was the last time you stabbed me?
When was the last time you played in my life?
When was the last time you stabbed me?
You know, you're forgetting his favorite word. Big ass Sam, Habibi. Remember it's Habibi?
Habibi, when was the last time you
Yeah,
stabbed me?
Habibi. You stabbed me, Habibi.
Fraud. Habibi, when was the last time you
God.
stabbed me? You're fraud. You're fraud.
Imagine how Sam's sending
Oh.
us a picture from the hospital bed. I'm head over heels, you man. Man got a big
I
stab
told you.
wound.
I told you. My Habibi loves me.
The
He
fucking
loves me.
bandage is covered in blood. He's sitting there going, "This is true love, you man."
Guys,
I'm
you
gonna
guys are
have an
just
operation
exaggerating.
in the morning now.
I promise you there is nothing better than a toxic woman. She's the best, but you just have to gaslight. You guys are incapable of gaslighting. I know how to gaslight, so I take full advantage of toxicity.
You need to live in South
Yeah.
London, bro. That's what you need to
Toxic
do.
and toxic, let's make nuclear waste together.
Nah, Hassan, I'm not even gonna lie. If you come and date a South
London.
London woman, you will not like the toxicity that will
Yeah.
be.
Oh, I'm calm with that.
Nah.
Yeah, all right.
I've
So
spoken
now
to
They all,
women
they
from
all say
London.
that. They all say that till they get
Until
it,
it
bro.
actually happens. Yeah.
Drifty, let me tell you something. I don't like to show my awards publicly, but I have spoken to many women from London. You get me? Big up all the South London women. Shout out to all of them. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cow.
Man said awards. You know what that means?
You just have to
Man-
go.
Man just
You know what
gonna
this
see
is? You
big
just have to go
gashes on the
toxic
arm.
or toxic. And they're good. They're good. Don't worry.
Hey, if Hassan backs his top, he looks like Killmonger.
Let me Google that. I don't even know who that is.
You lot, I had to actually spit my water out, you lot, man.
Oh, no,
I said I don't want to go by award.
Oh,
Yeah, big up all the South London women. Big up.
oh.
AJ Knows Ball says, Chiesa, hashtag justice for Chiesa. We need a combative midfielder to allow our other players to take more risks. In my opinion, we need both a DM and a 10. Facts.
Does the DM want to stab us though? Are we gonna love the DM? Does it want to stab me?
Nah, Tom, we gotta stop. We gotta stop because that sounds. He's gonna get you. You know, that's what I'm gonna say, bro. Oh,
So you know what we do? We get Cherki and Belieber.
I'd
in
love
an
that.
ideal world.
100%.
In an ideal world, yeah.
And considering Cherki's 25 mil, you could wrap both of them up for just over 100 M's.
We just end up stabbing opposition defenses.
Let me ask, real quick. Would you get if given the choice, Belieber or Camavinga?
Belieber.
Do you
Oh,
actually think
Baleba as well for me.
you both think Belieber's better than Camavinga?
For what we need, Baleba 100%.
It's not about better. It's who do you
Yeah, it's more
think
suited to what we need.
suited to what we need.
No, I think Camavinga is
Can I ask a question, guys? Are we doing what we accuse other fans of doing in sense of like Beliebers had what, one season in the Prem?
I've seen enough, Cal.
Can I say this?
Caicedo's had one
Genuine
season in the
question.
Prem. Look what he done.
Yeah, but
Genuine
I never put Caicedo in the same conversation as Camavinga. Like same with Gravenberch. He's had one great season in the Prem. Like
all jokes aside, I don't want to sound naive here. From a defensive point of view, I feel like Camavinga's spoken about like he's some elite defensive DM.
He's not.
Don't get me wrong. He can defend. That's not what we're. But like.
He's a ball carrier, isn't it, Matt?
He's more of a ball carrier, and like, don't get me wrong, he can create space as well. Very good, like technician. If I had to describe it, and this is me being lazy, by the way, he's like this generation's David, so to speak. Very, very techie, can do it all. But even from a defensive point of view, if you put him in a pivot, I don't think that solves anything. So if you put like Camavinga next to like McAllister, I don't think we like progress defensively. Like, I just think we're kind of the same. Did you get what I mean?
Yeah, you know, Davids was a good defender, bro. So I think you might have used somebody a little.
But even but you're right because Davids was better defensively. Camavinga, I don't think he's like this elite kind of like defensive-minded player. He's
I would want Camavinga playing next to a DM.
Yeah,
that's what I would want. Do you get what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want him to be the DM.
Yeah.
In the background, I've run a poll this whole stream. Who's the best player, Camavinga or Gravenberch? And out of 884 votes, 55% have said Gravenberch is the better player. So
that's close. Though it's close.
I think Camavinga's
better than Gravenberch.
Camavinga's our bad boy, by the way.
He's serious.
You don't know I love Camavinga, but yeah, for what we need, we've already got his profile. We need something different.
I think people.
I don't think you pass up on Camavinga if he was available. I think Camavinga is one of only.
He'd be my number one target.
He's one of only three midfielders on the planet that I drop everything for. It's him, it's Valverde, and it's Barella that I drop everything for and just go. I'll buy it and I'll figure it around.
Valverde and Belieber, Valverde and thingy. I get where you're coming from. Camavinga, we've got Gravenberch. I don't need to move heaven and earth for Camavinga.
You lot said you wouldn't swap Valverde for McAllister on Monday.
Was that sorry?
That wasn't even a
question. Guys, can we not bring up all receipts from like
that question?
And I wouldn't. But that wasn't a question. We didn't speak about that.
We had the question was, would you swap?
No, the combination. No. You're right. It was, would you swap Graven? No.
I remember it was what's the better combination?
Combination for the Prem, and I said I'd rather Graven Mac over.
Wait, I asked the question. I said, would you swap McAllister Valverde? You both said no.
No, I wouldn't.
McAllister.
Yeah, so the question is, would you swap Gravenberch and McAllister for Valverde and Camavinga?
No, but you're not adding. You're taking away.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
The only swap I would do out of that whole scenario would be I would swap Gravenberch for Valverde. That's the only swap I would do.
Then we just don't have a DM.
No, I'm just saying player for like who would I let go to bring in a player?
Matt is living with that.
Don't have a DM.
I'm confused.
Yeah, look. Let's wrap up. We've almost had these guys for 3 hours.
I don't know if you might have seen, but apparently Jamie Phillips has just agreed to shave his head at the parade on Twitter.
Oh,
brilliant! And he's doing a slot dance as well. Brilliant.
Because AGT is actually doing slot.
Yeah, that's what he's agreed to on Twitter.
Down. Yeah. I think he said he's got 3 barbers lined up, and if you want a slot haircut at the parade, then they're doing it for free.
Oh, fair.
I mean, they better get some serious clipper side. But
you need the Diaz one if he wants to get. If we're going off what he's been saying,
the anti-back best be on point.
Yeah, bro, you better get some serious clipper side, bro. 1 million people turning up. Jesus,
I'm not gonna lie.
People, look, we're gonna wrap up there. If you haven't already, subscribe to Tom's channel, subscribe to Sam's channel. Don't
subscribe to Sam's channel. Threaten to stab him. Show that you really love his content.
Tom, I said that's a woman with me and her having a personal relationship.
A threat isn't love, Tom. He said you actually have to physically.
Oh, yeah, I have to go through with the action.
I can tell who wears the pants in your relationship, Tom. Anyway.
Oh, sorry. Doesn't neither of us threaten to stab each other?
If a woman doesn't look you in the eye and say, if you look her way again, I'm gonna kill you, I love that. Like that's just beautiful. There's
You
nothing
are
wrong with that.
toxic, bro.
That's an ultra expression
you
of
are
love.
toxic as hell.
If a woman looks you in the face and says, Hussam, if you look at X in the face one more time, I'm gonna
No,
kill
I'm
you.
not gonna lie.
Obviously, she's not going to kill you, but that's an expression of love. I
I'm
love
not
that.
Sam, I promise
She's
you,
a
that
liar.
level of
She's a
toxicity is
liar.
taking about 10, 15 years off your life, brother. I promise you.
I'm
Bro.
gonna be real
Hey,
with you, Matt and
We're here
Drift
for
know-
a good time, not a long time, baby. Let's go.
Matt-
15 great years over 30 boring ones. Let's fucking go.
Matt and Drift know me very well. I am not one of these guys who's a controlling guy or anything like that.
We
But
can
no
tell.
way could you ever threaten me like that and think we're just cool after that. There is
Oh,
no
I would be so cool. I'd love that. I'd buy her like a phone right there.
No, you look.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's beautiful, guys. So everyone is acting like it's abnormal for a woman to get in her feelings because you're looking.
No,
at
it's
her.
not. No, getting your
No, but
feelings is one thing, but
abnormal-
threatening.
Okay, so when women get emotional, what do they say? I'm gonna punch you in the face. I'm gonna
No.
kill you. Like there's
No,
nothing wrong
bro.
with
No,
that.
but even, no, but
That's
even,
love.
but here's the thing. Even if a woman says, "Oh, I will punch you," whatever, yeah, but saying "I will stab you," that's
Nothing
different.
wrong with
though.
that. You guys are being dramatic.
That's different. Saying, "Oh, I'll." Listen, even if a woman,
If
slaps
you look at
that's
her in the
normal,
face
innit?
again, I'm gonna kill
If
you.
a woman slaps you because she gets pissed off or something, yeah, I understand that. But if a woman takes out a knife and back at the knife and say,
No,
"Yo,
not
say
back out
something
the
again,
knife.
I will
Just in
stab you."
conversations. No, not back
Brother,
out the
I'm
knife.
gone.
Just in conversations. You get me? The problem is you guys don't know the capability of gaslighting. I love
I
the
just choose
gaslight.
not to use it, bro.
But should we need to gas?
I
Why
use
do you want
that.
to build your relationship around gaslighting?
Hey, Red Gorilla already knows. Tell him, Red Gorilla. Tell him. They don't know about the Arab woman, bro. They don't know about the Arab woman, Red Gorilla. Just tell him. Tell him, bro. Hey, I'll take that. That's better than getting called Rolf Harris.
Whoa, who the fuck got called wrong?
Nah, who got
That's
called wrong?
crazy.
Yeah,
Nah.
but just saying, it's better.
Nah.
Who
crazy.
got called Rolf Harris?
Nah,
What?
That's
the fuck?
crazy.
Look,
That
boys,
is
we're wrapping up there.
crazy.
If you haven't already,
I'll take
smash
that,
the
that's
like
good.
button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Keep on sending another one. You know why I know. Back. Smash the like button, people. Until we see you
Oh
next
my
time. Stay
days.
safe, stay blessed. We're Kopish, we're out, people. Take care.
Peace.
Love people.